What we got here? Oh, what's going on? Come on in, everybody. We got it freezing up in here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Buckles Locker. No sound? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. Calm down. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Just saying. You said no sound. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Buckles Locker. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. It's cold in here. Shout out to everybody else in the Bucks community. Support all the Bucks channels, platforms if you can. I haven't seen y'all in a while, man. Where y'all been at? Y'all saw the game. I just got done watching the game. Well, thank God we won the NFC South. I'll tell you that much. SOUF. The Bucks finished the season 8-9 with the loss to the Atlanta Falcons. They lose the game 30-17. There were some bright spots. And of course, there were some and then there was some what the heck. The game didn't really mean anything, didn't have no impact on the playoff seeding. I had some prior engagements on Sunday, so you didn't see a live stream on Sunday. I had some other stuff I had to take care of to do. But I did watch the game. I watched the game about an hour ago. Well, about 30 minutes ago. 30, 45 minutes ago. I wouldn't put a lot of stock in the game as far as the starters. But I do got to talk about the backups. I will say that. I do got to talk about the backups. You hear me? For a starter standpoint, they look good. They got everybody out of there healthy, except Russell Gage and Hensley. Gage injured his back, I guess, and then Hensley hamstring issue. This is why I was just like, man, just get out of this game healthy. That was my biggest concern coming into this game. But we'll get to that in a second. From a starting standpoint, the starters look good. The first drive, Brady connected with Chris Godwin. Congratulations to Chris Godwin. Got 100 catches. So he got his, shout out to Tom Brady. 50th touchdown pass. Oh, I'm sorry, not Tom Brady, but Cal Rudolph. He caught a touchdown pass. 50th touchdown catch. Tom Brady broke the NFL record for passing attempts. So those are a couple of records that were achieved by Tom Brady, and I'm gonna say number 8. And Russell Gage and Devin Tompkins did look good. Devin Tompkins did look good. I like what I saw in him. He was the only player to me outside of, as far as the backups that actually looked good. Outside of that, I didn't see anything that made me believe that this roster is built correctly. The Bucs are very top heavy, and as I watch the game, I'm looking at it, right? The Bucs literally built their roster top heavy. Like it literally, they basically said we gotta win right now. And the thing about doing that is when that time frame is up, or when this time frame is up, you're gonna be left scraping the barrel as far as a roster, right? And they got some contracts, they got to figure this out. But when I watch the game, I'm sitting there looking like I don't like after the starters. You know, as I watch these other teams play and and watch their backups come in there and do something. One thing that stood out to me, and I was looking at it from a trenches standpoint. I was watching Georgia is beating TCU easily. This is gonna be a blowout. TCU just don't have enough dogs. I was watching the Bucs D-line. I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was seeing there. They was getting pushed around quite a bit. And let me make this clear about our young defensive linemen as far as Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, and Logan Hall. Number one, next year for Joe Tryon, it's going to be huge. We must see a big jump. Sacks, plays, just impact plays, right? And then year number 2 for Logan Hall is going to be very pivotal because most likely Hakeem Hicks won't be in the way. But those two are the cornerstones for the Bucs defense for the next couple of years. And I didn't like what I saw in them, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not writing those young guys off because they're young. But next year, year 3 for Tryon and year 2 for Logan Hall is very pivotal for both of them. Because there's guys in their class, meaning in Tryon class and Logan Hall's class, that are doing better. Right? You got undrafted free agents doing better. You know, other guys is doing just as well. First and second year players are doing better. And the Bucs got to get this right. And I was watching the game. I'm sitting here like, man, this is a chance for the young guys to shine, right? To show like, hey, okay, we got something after our starters. And outside of Tompkins, I didn't see much. Offensively and defensively. Nothing to be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And God, when you build a roster like this, it just makes it really, 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 the pressure is really on the starters to really perform well. And going back to the Bucs offense, first drive, typical Bucs first drive, right? That's how they've been looking they've been looking like that the last few weeks. They've been moving the ball on the first drive. They always do this last month or so. It's always after the first drive that I always worry about our team now. Chris Godwin had another fumble, peanut punch again. That was disappointing. You got to figure that out. I know 2 weeks in a row. I know it's not a big deal. That's not Godwin's type of situation. Game where he doesn't turn the ball over like that. He doesn't fumble a lot. But that's just something to keep your eye on. I think he's gonna work on that. But it was kind of hard to even like look at the game as for what it is and say, yeah, I feel good as far as backups. But I like what I saw in the offense after the first drive. And that other drive with Chris Godwin got hurt. And the irony, the Bucs finished with 17 points. Now let that sink in for a second. It's like they look the same starting wise and backup wise. How they play, like the team is literally the same front end, top end, and also back end. So it's like it was rough watching that game. It was pretty rough. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get through this because I didn't see anything. Did anybody see anything that they really liked outside of Tompkins? I mean, let's be real. I did see Devin White get flattened by Tyler Algier. He got flattened by him. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons rookie running back too. He got 1,000 yards. Man, I just don't like our backups. I don't. Drake London had 120 yards. Tyler, like here's the thing about the Falcons. The Falcons, future-wise, if they do this right, they got a lot of money in salary cap, and they got a good young core. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, if he stays, got Jake Matthews at left tackle. They got Lindstrom at guard. They're not far off, folks. If they get this draft right, I think they need a better coach. And Arthur Smith's not a bad coach. I just think they need to do a little bit better with the coaching. TCU finna get destroyed. But the Falcons, future-wise, is a lot better looking than the Bucs. I'm just saying future. Not talking about right now. I'm just saying future-wise. They look like they building something. The Bucs just seem like they just kind of like their life depends on a 46-year-old quarterback, a 45-year-old, soon to be 46-year-old quarterback. That's not how you want your franchise moving. You know, I hear people saying, "One more year, Tom." You know, like at some point, you got to move on. At some point, you don't want to be Here's the thing about the Bucs. There's two teams right now that are in a similar situation: the Bucs and the Packers. You know, their team lifeline depends on aging quarterbacks, and neither one of them are bad. It's just the fact that you don't want to be that team. That's why you rarely see teams hold on to quarterbacks late in their 30s, especially 40. The Bucs, just watch the game, folks. Just watch the game. Go back and watch that game again if you can. It's like if you're depending on one player, that's not good. Got to draft better, man. I did not like what I saw at the backups. Winfield Jr. played pretty good. Winfield Jr. played pretty good. I saw him flying around. But that's the cost of going in all in. Your roster just don't look right. And then you couple that with the Bucs salary cap situation. They're top heavy, and their salary cap situation is not good. So it's like, I hope the Bucs can figure this out. But I was just watching the game. I did not like anything that I saw with the backups outside of Tompkins. Zion McCullough, he literally is a 5th round pick. Literally, right? KJ Britt, Tryon Logan Hall. We got to get some D linemen, man. I'm sorry. We got to get some D linemen. I just, that's my one thing I look at the Bucs, man. We need some D linemen, man. I think offensive line, I think they need to figure out that left tackle situation with the Donovan Smith situation. But I think our O-line will be okay. They just got to figure out that left tackle situation. Do you want to pay Donovan Smith a lot of money? But my focus is the D-line, man. And I'm telling y'all, man, you can do all the blitzing you want. But if your D-line ain't right, man, it's just not good. TCU don't even want to beat up. I'm sorry, folks. I'm watching, I'm talking to y'all and watching the TCU Georgia game. TCU don't want to tackle. They don't even want to tackle, bro. Like it's getting ugly, folks. But does anybody got anything to say about the game as I move forward with the playoff situation? I don't really see much I can talk about. I don't. Does anybody have anything you want me to talk about when it comes to the game? I saw Cal Trask. I saw Keyshawn Vaughn. Neither one of them hit. That's a second and third round pick. A second and a third round pick. They not it, folks. Neither one of those guys. Trask or Keyshawn Vaughn. The Bucs need to draft another running back. It's just plain and simple. An explosive running back. I'm talking about more explosive than Rachaad White. More explosive than Rachaad White. And Rachaad White's not a bad running back. I think he's just more of a third down back. Rachaad White is a third down back. Like he fits that third down back whole situation. Catching, route running and stuff like that. Get you some good runs. But I don't look at him as a bell cow. When you go back and look at Rachaad White's tape in college, he's not, you know what I'm saying? There's running backs in college that I would rather have right now than Rachaad White. Not I want y'all to understand this. Rachaad White's not a bad player. Oh my goodness. Rachaad White is not a bad player. It's just we need an explosive running back. Explosive. Keyshawn Vaughn is not it. And Leonard Fournette time is almost up. Got to get another running back. And somewhere in this draft, I think we need to find one. Cal Trask? Nah, man. He ain't it. He ain't it, man. A second round pick that couldn't beat out an 11-year starter. I mean, a backup. Blaine Gabbert. That's a red flag. And then when I saw him play today, today, didn't like it. He's a bust. Now, I'm going to say this. I think Cal Trask's ceiling, I would say this. Cal Trask's ceiling is serviceable, average starter. I think he could be a high-end backup. A high-end backup. A below average starter, high-end backup. That's what I see out of Cal Trask. He's not an explosive quarterback, so if you think you're going to get explosive throws and all, no, you're not getting none of that. Off script plays, scrambles, and stuff like that. In today's NFL, quarterbacks need to have that maneuverability, but Cal Trask just don't have that, man. He just like a guy. He looked just like a guy. Yeah, I saw a couple of throws he made yesterday, and I was just like, nah, man. You got to make those. Desmond Ridder looked better than Cal Trask. Desmond Ridder looked better than Cal. And I'm not even a fan of Desmond. Desmond Ridder is okay, but he looked better than Cal Trask. You're number 2 for Cal Trask, and he can't beat out Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert? It's a red flag. I would be more comfortable with Kyle Trask if he was the backup, like the actual backup. But the fact that he's not the backup, that's a red flag. When have you seen a second round pick don't get dressed out for the whole season? He wasn't injured. Can anybody explain to me, have you seen a second round pick not make the roster as a quarterback? The game day roster. Don't worry, I'll wait. I wouldn't be saying this if he was the backup to Brady. I'd be like, because he getting all the soaking in, all the knowledge. He's getting knowledge now, but I'm just saying, a second round pick, you're the third string quarterback, which means you don't even dress out. Has anybody ever seen that? Answer the question. Has anybody seen a second round pick as a quarterback not dress, not make the game day roster? Has anybody ever seen that? Is Kyle Trask the first quarterback that was drafted in the second round that didn't even dress out, that wasn't even on the game day roster? And then when you look at these quarterbacks coming out, he don't even compare to those quarterbacks well. Look at the quarterbacks since 2020. I'm sorry, 2021 and 2022, and then this year's quarter. These last two draft classes and this draft class. These guys are on the roster. These guys playing. Think about that for a second. These guys are playing. They're the backup quarterback. Meanwhile, our second round pick, not even dressing. I'm telling you right now, if that pick don't work out, that will be just as bad as exactly Roberto Aguayo. That would be just as bad. It's almost like the Bucs might be pressured to actually play him like next year. They might have to, if Brady don't come back, they might have to throw him in there just to justify the pick. Nobody's trading for Kyle Trask. He's not a commodity that people want. I'm not trying to bash the guy. Just look at the NFL the last couple of years. You can make all the excuses you want. You can spin the narrative all you want. He's not on the roster. He's not on the game day roster. That's a fact. He played this game because the Bucs won the NFC South, but I'm just saying, he couldn't beat out Blaine Gabbert. This ain't got nothing to do with Tom Brady. You couldn't beat out Blaine Gabbert? We already know we got him. Why is he there? That pick could have been an O lineman or a D lineman. Nope. We need a backup quarterback. Not even a backup quarterback. Third string quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was picked in the first round. He was a backup. Last couple of drafts, I'm just giving y'all some examples. Last couple of drafts, every quarterback has been on the game day roster. Starter or backup. I'm just giving y'all examples of quarterbacks, first, second round, that didn't start, but there was a backup. At least. So unless Kyle Trask become this super quarterback, this monster quarterback, then okay, I get it. But there is no real signs that show that right now. I think he's still developing. I think Kyle Trask still developing. In my head, I just think that he's still trying to figure the NFL game out, because you seen a couple of those yesterday. It's like, what? You couldn't make that throw? Arm strength has always been in his question. I'm a Gator fan, so I watched Kyle Trask. Arm strength has always been a question with him. Mobility, red flag. Arm strength, red flag. Pocket awareness, red flag. He got red. No, don't get me wrong. He has some green flags, but he also has some red flags. The green flags is he got size, right? He has size. He has the quarterback look, but mobility, no. Big arm, no. He's accurate. That's a green flag. He's accurate and he's big. Does anybody else have any more green flags for Kyle Trask as I move off for Kyle Trask and start talking about these other guys? And you could tell the Bucs are being super careful with Kyle Trask. I think he's still got a lot to learn at this point. Year number 2, and you still got a ton to learn. A ton. A lot of people can show flashes. But all I'm just saying with the quarterback situation, that is going to be. He looks like Brad Johnson. There you go. He looks like Brad Johnson to me. That's maybe his ceiling. Georgia just scored again, 31-7. Yikes. Oh, Kenny. Oh, you want to bring up Kenny Pickett? Oh, I still don't believe in him. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but he ain't look great. But at least he out there playing. That's the point conversation I'm making. He's out there. He's still green. Kenny Pickett's still green. Kenny Pickett has a low ceiling. He'll scramble around. He'll make some plays. But I watched the Steelers game. He was okay here and there, but he's learning on the job. Can he get better? Sure. But his ceiling ain't high. He like 25 years old already. And I think it was 6 touchdowns to like 10 interceptions. That ain't screaming he's gonna be cold, man. Come on, man. You think the Steelers won these games because of Kenny Pickett? Oh man. You think they finished 9-8 because of Kenny Pickett? No, man. The defense got healthy. The Steelers, even at 9-8, the Steelers were a defensive team. That's all they won. They won games with Mitch Trubisky. Steelers offense is horrible too. So maybe if I think Kenny Pickett get better, they got to get rid of Matt Canada. Matt Canada is an awful OC. There's a couple of OCs that are in the NFL right now that are awful. Todd Downings, Matt Canada, Pete Carmichael. They're just behind the modern times. So yeah, Kenny Pickett can get good. Just gotta get a better OC because they got weapons. They got weapons. But back to the Bucs. Keyshawn Vaughn, 3rd round pick. I'm kind of giving y'all what I'm seeing with these young guys. Keyshawn Vaughn, y'all already know about that situation. He ain't it. You know, I had a couple super chats here. I know I seen them. Big Bucks, thank you for the $2 super chat. I wanted to throw my beer at Keith Armstrong. Yeah, I heard you, man. Why you want to throw a beer at him, man? What you doing, man? Thank you for the $2 super chat. And then Marlon Already here, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat. What is TCU doing? They're not even. Come on, Sonny Dykes. But yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn, y'all already know. On to the next. Pat O'Connor, no. Pat O'Connor, no. I'm good on him. Y'all already know about Nacho. He's old. Hakeem, he's got a sack. His first sack of the year, right? TCU don't have the dogs to compete with Georgia. SEC all day. They don't have the old linemen to compete with them boys. This is a mismatch. I wish Michigan would have won. I wish Michigan would have beat TCU. At least that would have been a better matchup. But this is not even close. TCU don't got the horses, man. They don't got the dogs. They don't got the big boys in the trenches. They got skill players, but they just don't have the trenches right. O-line, TCU D-line don't compete with Georgia's. Trenches matter, folks. Trenches matter. I'm gonna keep drilling it in y'all head. You can have the flashy offense, you know, the Sonny Dykes, the air raid, TCU, Mike Leach, rest in peace, Mike Leach. You know, Mike Leach got a lot of guys around the colleges as far as OCs, co-OCs, and head coaches that came from his tree. Mike Leach coaching tree is pretty deep. Interception. Max Duggan threw another interception. Remember, Max Duggan declared for the NFL. Folks, that dude is a 4th, 5th round pick. He should have came back. They just don't have dogs. Matchups matter, folks. This is a bad matchup. I'm about to turn this off. You got to have guys in the trenches, man. If you want to beat Georgia and Alabama, you better have them trenches ready, man. I'm going to turn the game off. I don't even want to watch it no more. It's going to be like a 50-something to like 17 game. Georgia is that type of team right now. Alabama ain't beating Georgia. Nobody beating Georgia. Nobody beating them. You know, here's the thing about Georgia and their pipeline. This is why the NFL teams keep going to Georgia and getting Georgia players, because they're productive. SEC has a lot of production in their trenches. And I'm going to need Jason Light. Get one of those SEC guys, man. Stop effing around, man. Get you an SEC D lineman. Touchdown. They just scored again. They just scored again. Stetson Bennett is 25 years old. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Lamar Jackson and Stetson Bennett, I think the same age. Stetson Bennett is 25 years old. He out there playing against kids. You know, I got a question for y'all. What y'all think about the Bucs drafting Stetson Bennett at quarterback, or any team? Y'all think Stetson Bennett gonna get drafted? Y'all think Stetson Bennett gonna get drafted? He's 25 years old, playing against 18, 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds. That's like Herndon Hooker. Same thing with him. Herndon, the Tennessee quarterback. 25 years old. What you expect? He playing against kids. I don't know. That's a shot at the Saints fans. Saints fans want to draft Herndon Hooker. I'm like, that dude 25 years old. He ain't got much left in him. Stetson Bennett out there balling. Yep. Brandon Wheaton. Brandon Wheaton was like 27, 28. But yeah, you Bucks. Yeah, man, look, you gotta get some. The Bucks need to really look at some SEC D linemen. You gotta get some SEC D linemen on that. Bucks they gotta get some dogs, man. And then look, nothing against Logan Hall and Joe Tryon, man. But come on, man. Let's be real now. Come on now, Bucks. Stop drafting Washington people. You right there in the backyard of the SEC. You won't even touch them. Won't even touch an SEC D lineman and right in the backyard. But back to Mike Leach. You can have the pretty offense and all that good stuff. But the minute you play a team that's aggressive, physical, and big, that old fancy dancy offense don't look good at all. We see it in the end. Look at Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury got fired. Chip Kelly. All these fancy dancy offenses, these college offenses, it's cool. It's cute. College and NFL. But you go against a team that's physical, that don't work. Cliff Kingsbury brought the air raid, his version of the air raid with some modifications to the Cardinals. It started out pretty decent the first couple years. But then once they got enough tape on that, it was a wrap. Sonny Dykes is not a bad coach. Go look at Mike Leach's tree. It's pretty impressive for the college rankings. And then some of his philosophy has trickled into the NFL of how people like to throw the ball and the concepts and the plays they like to run. Now, the Bucks don't run that style of offense. In space offense, because we don't have that type of offense. And we'll get to that in a second. But Mike Leach got a lot of coordinators and co-coordinators and assistants in the NFL and college. I'm just saying. But Stetson Bennett, 25 years old. Come on, man. That's not impressive, man. I'm sorry. 25 years old playing against 18, 19-year-olds. It's kind of cheesy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. But let me get back to the Bucks. Keyshawn Vaughn, no. Pat O'Connor, no. Kyle Trask, I'm good on that. And you know what's so funny? If I put some money on this. And I want y'all to I'll put some money on this. If Brady don't come back, how much you want to bet that the Bucks go get a veteran quarterback? Since the roster's built to win right now, I'll put some money on it. The Bucks is going to go get another quarterback. If Kyle Trask is that dude, they will not go get another quarterback. If he's not that dude, and if they go get another quarterback, Kyle Trask not that dude. I'm telling y'all. Watch, if Brady don't come back, there's a chance. I'll put some money on it. Anybody want to bet me? Anybody want to bet? Anybody want to bet? If Brady leave, will Kyle Trask will roll in as a starter, or will the Bucks go get another quarterback like they did, with the Brady situation? Anybody want to bet? And we can go. What you want to go 4 digits? What you want to go 2 digits, 3 digits, 4 digits? You want to go 5 digits? I guarantee you, I win. If you believe in Kyle Trask, they won't go get another quarterback. If they don't believe in Kyle Trask, they're going to get another quarterback. So what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? If y'all look at the quarterback class, free agents wise, it ain't great. It's not great, folks. It's not great. Does anybody want to bet? Stop all the talking. Anybody want to bet? If you believe in Kyle Trask and you believe that the Bucs will roll in this season with Kyle Trask starter, put your money up. 2 digits, single digits, 2 digits, 3 digits, 4 digits, 5 digits. However you want to do this. Anybody want to do it? Because the Bucs, if they believe in him, they're not going to go get a veteran. They're going to be like, we got our guy back here. If they don't believe in Kyle Trask, they're going to go look at the Derek Carr and the Jimmy G and the Tyler Huntley and Teddy Bridgewater, Ryan Tannehill, maybe Aaron Rodgers, Mike White, Marcus Mariota, Lamar Jackson, which I doubt that, but I'm just saying. In my opinion, I'm putting my money. The quarterback is not on the team if Brady leaves. Blaine Gabbert, Kyle Trask, no. So funny. This is what I was telling you about how do you build the roster, right? And the way the Bucs, and here's the funny thing about the Bucs offense. We'll break this down in a second. But just when you want to bring a quarterback in, if you bring Derek Carr in, and a lot of you fans that y'all like Derek Carr. I'm not a big fan of him, but if they do bring him in, it is what it is. But if you bring Derek Carr in, it's going to look like the offense this year or last year. That's how the offense is going to look. Almost the same. Because you're not going to run the actual offense that you're supposed to run with this setup, the Evans and the Godwin, down the field threats and stuff like that. You're not going to run that offense with Derek Carr, which means you're going to see what you see with Tom Brady, you're going to see with Derek Carr. And he's much worse than Tom Brady. I'm sorry. You can't compare anybody to Tom Brady. I'm sorry. Derek Carr just has some characteristics that I don't like. It's not a bad quarterback. Ever since that 4th down throw, he threw the ball out of bounds. He literally gave up on the play. Ever since that moment, he's rubbed me the wrong way. And it's nothing personal with Derek Carr. He's a good guy. But on the field, he just... It's not... I don't... If I was a football player, I'm good on that. Josh McDaniels is like, I'm straight. You know what's the funny? Jarrett Stidham, for the last 2 games, against the 49ers, the number 1 defense, one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL, chucking the ball around. He looked better than Derek Carr has looked the entire season. Jarrett Stidham looked better than Derek Carr. Now let that sink in. Remember, Bucs fans, you want Derek Carr, right? If Tom Brady leaves, you want Derek Carr, don't you? The Saints want Derek Carr. They don't know what they want to do. But you get what I'm saying? He just has characteristics physically and mentally that I don't like. But if he was a Bucs quarterback, I think the Bucs would be right in the same boat. 9-8, 8-9, 10-7, up in there somewhere. And he'll probably crap out in the playoffs. Derek Carr is like average across the board. I don't see nothing elite about Derek Carr. Stetson Bennett kind of fast, ain't he? I don't see nothing physically elite about Derek Carr. Now, he's accurate. But the problem is with Derek Carr is big moments, he folds like a lawn chair. He ain't it. But if they go get him, okay, cool. Now, what else we got out there? Ryan Tannehill? He'll probably be a better fit. But how much he gonna cost? How much Derek Carr gonna cost? How much Ryan Tannehill gonna cost? They ain't finna come cheap. You know, Taylor Heineke, a baby Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's not physically elite either. Baker Mayfield? I've seen them. I'm good on that. 6 foot. Who else we got out there? Teddy Bridgewater? Dudes, they hurt. Gardner Minshew? 9-8. 8-9. Taylor Heineke, Gardner Minshew, same quarterback. Nothing elite about them physically. But they are. But the one thing about those two quarterbacks, they're very tough. Gardner Minshew and Taylor Heineke are gutsy. Now, gutsy can only get you so far. Gutsy wins can only get you so far. We saw that this season with Taylor Heineke. And Gardner Minshew is a hot and cold guy. So those are gutsy quarterbacks. Nothing physically elite about them, but they can gut you out some wins. But they have a ceiling in that. There's a ceiling with quarterbacks like that. A low ceiling. What else, folks? Who else do you got? Blaine Gabbert? No, I'm good. Somebody said Carson Wentz. So what about Carson Wentz in this system? So here's Carson Wentz. Big guy, elite, right? He's elite athleticism, which I think he's lost some of that. 6'5", about 240. He had a MVP caliber season, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and he got hurt. And then the Eagles moved on from him. Then he goes to the Colts with Frank Wright, a really good coach, who I think is going to get another coaching job. He goes there and puts up good numbers, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And you would think that, they would keep him. And those numbers are good. But this is why I tell y'all, don't get caught up in numbers. It's about the moments. Because most teams that keep a quarterback that throws for over 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, most teams going to keep that. The owner and the GM was like, no, we good. And Carson Wentz has regressed. And too many stories about him locker room wise. Elite physical traits. Here's the problem. And he's regressed physically. Now, if we get Carson Wentz, are we getting the Colts and the Commanders Carson Wentz? Or are we getting the right before he got hurt Carson Wentz with the Eagles? Remember the Hakeem Hicks comparison? Are we getting the Hakeem Hicks in Chicago, or are we getting the Hakeem Hicks that was hurt the last couple of years? And which one did we get? The latter one. But Carson Wentz has elite physical traits. But I think it's here. But let me go back to Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill wouldn't be bad at all. But he's older. 33, 34 years old. He's been hurt. Who else, folks? What other quarterback? We talked about the small quarterbacks, the Baker Mayfield, the Gardner Minshew, and the Taylor Heineke. So it's a low ceiling with those guys. Whatever y'all tell me, I'm going to talk about. Give me a quarterback to talk about that will be possibly available if Brady leaves. Sam Darnold. Okay, we'll talk about Sam Darnold. I see ghost. Next. Matter of fact, Sam Darnold just won a game against the Saints. He completed 5 balls. Come on. Elite physical traits, mobile, nice arm, but I see ghosts. Come on, give me some more quarterbacks. I watch a lot of tape, folks. Give me some more quarterbacks. I already talked about Mayfield. Oh, Jimmy G. This was an intriguing situation. Jimmy G will have suitors. Let's make that clear. Colts, Raiders, Bucks, Saints. He'll have some suitors because he's played in a lot of games. Not physically elite. Not the big arm. He's very accurate, very smart. Has some mobility, but he's hurt a lot. He's hurt a lot. And he doesn't handle pressure well. But he wouldn't be bad for the Bucks. But if you get Jimmy G, you pretty much looking at the same type of season with Derek Carr. Nine and 8, 8-9, 9-8, maybe 10-7, which is not bad. If you get Jimmy G, it wouldn't be bad at all. But don't expect a lot of downfield throws. It's going to look like what we saw this season with Tom Brady. A massive amount of throws behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, or within 7 yards. That's the Jimmy G. That's the Derek Carr. That's Jimmy G is really good behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, and 0-7. And you got to have yak guys for Derek Carr and Jimmy G. You need yak guys because they're not going to consistently make the big throws, which the offense wouldn't be bad. It just would be what we saw in 2022. And both quarterbacks are possibilities. Now, I would rather have Jimmy G over Derek Carr. Somebody said Geno Smith. I think he's going to get an extension with Seattle, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Jacoby Brissett, not bad, but he has a ceiling. Very, very, very low ceiling. Cooper Rush wouldn't be bad, but nothing physically elite about Cooper Rush. Consistent, will play with the system, but that's more of the 8-9, 9-8, 7-10 type guy. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to match the quarterbacks with the offense that we run now. Somebody said, Jared Goff. No. I think Detroit is good where they at with him. They went 9-8 with Jared Goff. Now, is he long-term? No, he's not long-term, but they can keep him. All their young guys are under rookie contracts. So you don't need to get rid of Jared Goff. You know, they have the Lions are literally a quarterback away. The Lions are literally a quarterback away. And here's the beautiful thing about it. All their young pieces are under rookie contracts. Think about this. The Lions have drafted well, and the fruit is starting to bear. Lions, Falcons, these teams that's been bad, they just been drafted and they start hitting on their picks. This is what happens when you hit on your picks. So now you got all the pieces around the quarterback situation. And they all under rookie contracts. A young, up-and-coming coaching staff. The Lions OC, Ben Johnson, head coach at some point. I like OCs like that. Dan Campbell, I wasn't a big fan of him as far as what he was trying to do, but much respect to Dan Campbell. I got to give it to him. I'm thinking he's out of there. Dan Campbell, I'm eating crow on Dan Campbell. They say he's the Mike Vrabel of offense. Remember that Dan Campbell was a tight ends coach, so he's an offensive guy. He's a very aggressive coach. He has an offensive mindset. He hired Ben Johnson, the OC, an aggressive OC, young, not scared, doesn't play to lose, plays to win. And if you look at the Lions' 3rd down and 4th down situation in football, they're aggressive. And he's play calling. He started play calling yesterday in the crunch time. They went to go get that dub. They went to get the dub. You play to win the game. Coach, OC, quarterback. Decent match, right? Campbell, then Johnson, Jared Goff. And Jared Goff is not a down the field thrower. He's a behind the line scrimmage, at line scrimmage, 0 to 10. That's his bread and butter. He's very careful with the ball. Now, the problem with that type of style of play, if you give Ben Johnson an explosive quarterback, the Lions have a high ceiling. They just need an explosive quarterback. Jared Goff is not bad, but he's in that Derek Carr, Jimmy G realm, that 8-9, 9-8, maybe 10-7 at this point. But if you give Ben Johnson, the OC of the Lions, an explosive quarterback like a Justin Herbert, a Josh Allen, like a big arm mobile guy, even a Trevor Lawrence maybe, the Lions' ceiling is high because they got guys. They got 2 running backs. They got receivers. They got some nice tight ends. And they got draft picks, and they got cap space. Lions and Falcons, man, watch out for those 2 teams. Watch out for those 2 teams. I'm just telling y'all, man. So who else? What other quarterback? And nothing against defensive head coaches, but you can see the difference, man. When you get an offensive coach that know what he's doing, your team look good overall. I'm just saying. Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs. Pete Carroll's a defensive coach, right? But he got Shane Stinch. What's the Seattle OC? Explosive, multifaceted offense. That is today's NFL. Trips, quads, 5 wide. You can run the ball. Nick Sirianni. Look at his OC. The Eagles OC, Seattle OC. Just saying, folks. It don't take a rocket science to figure this out. And nothing against defensive coordinators being head coaches. Nothing against them. But the problem is having a defensive coordinator as a head coach, he's going to lack on the offensive side of the ball. He's going to lack big time. He's not going to understand the quarterback dynamic. You got to be careful. If you get a DC as a coordinator, as a head coach, you better have a dynamic OC. You can't have no... Because, defensive coaches, they like conservative play. They like to rely on their defense, their bread and butter. So let me get a conservative OC to keep the games close. But if you get a defensive coordinator with an explosive OC, it's a perfect match. But he got to trust the OC to make the calls and stop trying to override him. So give me some more quarterbacks. Oh, I see people talking about Sean Payton. This is like my season-ending wrap-up for the Bucs. I'm giving y'all right now. After the Falcons game. Sean Payton to the Bucs. That's like the chance of that happening is like so low, man. It can happen, sure, but I doubt it. Jordan Love, okay. Trey Lance, Jordan Love. Mac Jones. Okay, Trey Lance, Jordan Love, Mac Jones. 3 young quarterbacks. All right, so let's start with Mac Jones. Limited. Physically. Accurate. But watching him play in New England, that's his type of offense. I'm just trying to think of here's the thing about all these quarterbacks y'all naming. I'm trying to think about the fit. Because y'all complained about Tom Brady in this offense. Y'all complained about the dinking and the short passes and the check downs and the screen spamming and all this. Well, that's what you're going to get with Mac Jones. You ain't getting a lot of downfield throws, folks. Just saying. So Mac Jones, I mean, he wouldn't be bad, but you're gonna be complaining again. If y'all want to see Eric Coryell down the field throws and be more aggressive, the quarterbacks y'all naming ain't the ones y'all want, really. Y'all just, I think a lot of us are caught up in the moments and all that stuff like that. But when you look at the Bucs offense and all the Bucs fans complaining about it, and y'all naming these quarterbacks, what in this offense? With Byron Leftwich and Clyde Christensen and Tom Moore? Y'all want to see ball control, conservative dinking and dunking and screen passes and check downs, or what do y'all want to see? Like y'all got to pick a side here. You complained about the offense this season. They only average 18 points a game. That's what you're gonna get with those quarterbacks. Or you want the high flying offense? Which one do you want? Trey Lance, Jordan Love. Okay, so Trey Lance, injury history, hasn't played a full season since 2019. South Dakota State, mobile, big arm, has some elite physical characteristics, mobile, but can he play a full season? Jordan Love, you got to trade for him. Would the Packers give up Jordan Love? Because now, if you look at Jordan Love now, he looks a lot better now, but question marks on him too. He has a nice big arm, elite physical traits, right? But Aaron Rodgers in the way. He got drafted in the first round, and 4 years into the 4 years into the NFL career, question marks still. Because if the Packers had confidence in Jordan Love like that, they would have moved on from Aaron Rodgers a long time ago. They gave that man an extension. He's 39 years old now, and now their whole offseason is centered around a 39-year-old quarterback. The same as the Bucs. When this season's over, whether the Bucs win the Super Bowl or get the Super Bowl, whenever the Bucs lose, right? Or win, whatever. The offseason is centered around a 45-year-old quarterback. That's not what you want. And if you bring in Aaron Rodgers, you bring Brady back, don't get mad with the results. Aaron Rodgers don't even look the same. I think Tom Brady's played way better than Aaron Rodgers. And here's the thing about it. Arizona fired Cliff Kingsbury. Texans fired Lovie Smith, whatever. Remember now, Byron Leftwich was being talked about as a head coach. Would not be surprised if I see Arizona reach out to Byron Leftwich, and Byron takes Harold Godwin with him, Larry Foote with him, and then Adrian Wilson becomes the GM. And Bruce Arians, for some strange reason, find his way back to Arizona as a GM or a senior consultant or a vice president of a football operations situation. Don't be surprised, folks. Don't be surprised if Byron Leftwich ends up in Arizona with Kyler Murray. And if Byron Leftwich leave, he's taking some guys with him. Y'all know that, right? He's taking some guys with him. I just want y'all to keep that. I want y'all to keep that in y'all back of y'all heads. He's going to take some guys with him. The receiver coach was Gardner. Harold Godwin, the assistant head coach. Larry Foote. Or maybe Larry Foote or Casey Rogers, because they want to be DCs. They're not really calling the plays in Tampa because Todd Bowles doing that still. So Casey Rogers and Larry Foote are like co-defensive coordinators, but they're not really calling plays. So if Byron Leftwich get a head coach job, regardless of where it goes, he's taking one of them with him to be an actual DC. That's what's going to happen. I'll get to the playoff talk in a second. I just want to kind of give an end of the year wrap up on what's going on. He's taking some guys with him. So, and then if Byron Leftwich leave, what does Brady do? Now, let me make this clear with Tom Brady's situation. Tom Brady, his decision will have really nothing to do with, like, I'm saying nothing. His decision won't be based on, should I stay with the Bucs? No, it's going to be where he want to go. So basically, you're kind of starting from ground zero, like with the Tom Brady situation. Just like when he left New England, it was like, well, where is he going? Is he coming back to New England? Same thing with the Bucs. Is Tom Brady going to stay with the Bucs? That's not really the big issue here. That's not even really a talking point because he knows that option is there. If he plays again, you don't think he's going to take a look around and see what else is out there? Just like he did in New England. The Bucs ain't no different. The Bucs are no different. The same situation when New England in the Tom Brady situation. Now we got Tom Brady in the Bucs situation. The difference is between he was on one team, 20 years, and the other team for 3. So there is no serious ties in Tampa. So let's get that out y'all head. He's not obligated to stay here, folks. Remember, we wasn't the first choice. It was like the 4th. And those choices that he wanted, let's see. Sean Payton, maybe to the Chargers, and he bring Brady with him to the Saints, back to the Saints, and bring Brady with him, or wherever Sean Payton go, whatever, or let's go back and revisit the Raiders situation. He comfortable with Josh McDaniel, got a number 1 receiver in his prime, got an elite slot, got to get open, and an elite tight end. Nice left tackle, nice running game, tighten up that defense. Maybe San Francisco. We already know that story. He's from there. So there's situations that they're better than the Bucs if Brady wants to leave as far as what he likes. He can go to Miami. If Tua happens to retire, we already know he tried to go down there. Jaden Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki. Nice little defense. Mike McDaniels, Kyle Shanahan back. There's better situations. Not saying that he's going to go, but there's better situations. If you look at it, if once Brady becomes a free agent and you look at it, everything on the table, everything on the board, everything on the table. You mean to tell me the Bucs offer the best situation? Do you really think if everything is on the table, ground zero, are the Bucs the number 1 situation? All those teams I named, even the Jets, playoff defense, great skill weapons. Garrett Wilson, Braxton Berrios, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Breece Hall, Zion McKnight, whatever his name is, the backup running back. Jets got nice little O-line. Everything on the table. Is the Bucs the best situation for Brady if he had a choice to make? If you was Tom Brady, what would be your best choice? Scenario based. And they got James Robinson. He ain't it. No, they done. He's been inactive. Keep up, you wish. Keep up, man. James Robinson was inactive. They like the rookie better. Number 27. What's the best situation for Brady? If you, from a football perspective, everything on the table, clean slate. He get to look at the table and say, okay, what plate do I want to eat off of? Do I want to eat off the plate I've been eating off for 3 years? Which he can do. He can come back to Tampa. Byron Leftwich takes the head coaching job. Take a couple guys with him. He gets another OC, right? Or he can look at the 49ers, the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Jets. Maybe go back to New England. Or go wherever Sean Payton going. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, look, he's done everything he needed to do here. So it's not like he needs to. The thing about I'm trying to get you to understand is don't get mad at Tom Brady. He's not obligated to stay here, folks. He did exactly what he came to do. I just want y'all to understand that. He's not obligated to stay here, folks. He can do what he want to do. He's earned that right. Can we agree with that? So, only Tom Brady can staying with the Bucs. Says who? You? I'm just trying to get y'all to open y'all mind up. There's competition. He's a free agent after this season. There's no contract extension right now. So he can reboot and be like, let me take a break for a second. Let me think about it. So now, whenever the Bucs lose or whenever the Bucs get to the Super Bowl and win, now we got to hear all these stories now. Is he going to retire? Is he going to take a look at these other teams? Everybody placing bets already. Will he go? Will the Bucs trade for Sean Payton? Will he go back to the Saints and bring Tom Brady with him? Because the Brady and Payton relationship is pretty decent, pretty good. They actually, Sean Payton and Tom Brady's from the same area in San Francisco. They have some connections, but the connections go way back. Yes, sir. But remember, his favorite team is who? His childhood favorite team, Joe Montana quarter, 49ers. Stay tuned, folks. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. But I'm telling you right now, the Bucs ain't signed and sealed to get Tom Brady back. There is no guarantee coming back. You can say that, but just based on the landscape, there is no guarantee. There is no, I'm for sure Brady coming back. You saying you are for sure. But the landscape says otherwise. This is why I was telling you about the quarterback situation for the Bucs. This is what y'all named all these quarterbacks. Who would y'all be comfortable with in this offense? You complained about the offense with Tom Brady. All these quarterbacks you named, you complained it. Top 5 in yards. He had 20, 23, 24 touchdowns. He had 7, 8, 9 picks, whatever. QBR wasn't bad. Quarterback rate wasn't bad. His yards per attempt was pretty whack, but because of the and then he had that one big game with Mike Evans against the Panthers. But prior to that game, it was spamming screens and checkdowns and throwing the ball behind line scrimmage. I hope you Bucs fans are prepared mentally with the quarterback situation. I'm prepared. I've done my research on all these quarterbacks. The Georgia Bulldogs just scored again. 45-7. Calling off the dogs, man. Let me turn this game off. I'm sorry. I don't want to watch this. The Georgia Bulldogs just scored again. It's 45-7, folks. What are we doing here? TCU, what are you doing? Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this. This is why nobody respects the Big 12. No disrespect, but nobody respects the Big 12 and how they play. Brock Bowers to the Bucs, tight end, flex tight end, explosive, modern day tight end, way better than Cade Otton, or by that Utah tight end. Kincaid, or the other tight end that Utah got. Modern day. We about to transition to this, but I ain't gonna get to that though. That's off season. Let's move forward, and now let's talk about, now that the regular season's over with, playoffs. Guess what? We have another primetime game. Notre Dame tight end. Modern day tight end is what the Bucs need. No, I'm not saying K. Dotton is bad. The Bucs need a modern day tight end. But anyway, let's talk about the playoffs. Now that the regular season is over with, NFC South champions for the second year in a row. Yeah, I know we finished 8-9. It sucks. 8-9 offense only averaged 18 points a game. Dang, that's crazy. I'm trying to think about it. The Bucs offense in the last 10 years. Was the 2022 Bucs offense the worst offense in the last 10 years for the Bucs? So we got for 2022 to 2012. Was this offense the worst offense? Now, going into the playoffs, I think the Bucs got the worst offense in the NFC as far as with the playoff teams. Think about this. Tom Brady at quarterback, 2022. You go back 10 years. Is this the worst offense in 2022? So from 2012 to 2022, the 2022 Bucs offense was the worst? Is that wrong for me to say? Going into the playoffs, they have the worst offense. Keyword: going into the playoffs. The key part here: going into the playoffs. Now, the Bucs offense can then turn up at some point, right? We hope they do that, right? We hope they turn up like they turn up against the Carolina Panthers. But the problem is, the Bucs are not going to play Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers NFC Championship game. Carolina Panthers in the Super Bowl. That ain't happening. Oh, I know who the Georgia Bulldogs OC is. I know who the Georgia Bulldogs OC is. It's Todd Monken. Yeah, the guy that was trash with Tampa. Some coaches are just better off in college. He's using NFL concepts. That's all he's doing. He's running circles around college coaches with all those athletes. But let's get back to the Bucs, right? Into the playoffs. Now, the Bucs, defense-wise, have the third best defense, which is good. I think the Bucs have the third best defense behind the Niners and the Eagles, which is good. And I say this to transition into the Bucs defense versus the Bucs offense for the playoffs. This is very important. Y'all listen to this. Playing the Cowboys, prime time, Monday night. They keep giving us primetime games, and if you do your research in the history, we haven't been great in prime time, whether we win or lose. Going back to 2020, let's go back when Tom Brady got here. All the primetime games the Bucs have had all the primetime games the Bucs had. Not a lot of them was great. Most of them was like nail biting, awful. I kind of wanted the Bucs to just get a regular time slot. The prime time, the only game on Monday. And this is more. Here's the thing about the NFL schedule makers, the playoff schedule makers. This is more about Brady and the Cowboys rather than Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? And they already started the narrative already. America's team, Tom Brady, Will this be his last hoorah? That's the storyline. Will Tom Brady find a way? Oh, wait. What you mean? Will Tom Brady find a way? What about will the Tampa Bay Buccaneers find a way? Will the Tampa Bay Buccaneers find a way? How about that storyline? No. Will Tom Brady find a way to win this game? I'm sorry. What? They already started it. America's team versus Tom Brady. Like he's the only one that they see on the Bucs. Will Tom Brady be able to do it? No, man. Will the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do something? All for the rest of this week, all you finna hear, Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. Cowboys this, Cowboys that. It's the star versus Brady. Brady versus the star. Remember I told y'all this. Tom Brady is a bigger entity than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The little old Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I told y'all this. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Bucks. Oh, I'm sorry. Tom Brady, Tampa Bay Bucks. This is more about Brady versus the Cowboys. Because remember, we played them in week 1, 13-3. That was a struggle. America's team versus America's quarterback. See, the narrative. There you go. See? We'll never get the respect, folks. I'm telling y'all don't like to hear this, but we will never get the respect. The only time they talk about us is when they talk about Tom Brady. And then they add the rest of them behind that. Every time we lose, they talk about Tom Brady and the rest of the team. Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich. We don't get no respect. It sucks too, man. And I'm a true Bucs fan. But it's so obvious to see. But a primetime game, I'd have been good with the 4:25 game. Sunday. On Saturday game. Monday. 8:50. Really? Look, I just hope the Bucs don't come out there and sugar honey iced tea to bed. Because I'm telling y'all, from 2020 to 2022, not even close to being the same team. Ain't no Gronkowski. Ain't no AB. Are we going to get playoff Lenny? Are we going to get the Ryan Suckup that can make kicks? Would a defense not have lapses in key moments? All remains to be seen. This is a huge game. And you don't think the Cowboys got this circled? We played them week 1. Let me help y'all out here. Did y'all know? Let me help y'all out here. Going into the playoffs, I want y'all to follow me on this. This is what I was trying to tell y'all. Hashtag, what did your eyes tell you? Yeah, you can look at the numbers, look at the tape, and facts gonna override feelings all the time. So going into the playoffs, it's about how you've been playing, how you've been looking. You know, you don't go by the last game. You get a nice piece of the season, right? And you say, let's just go back to last half of the season, right? The Bucs have been looking choppy. They look bad against the 49ers. They looked like a completely different team in the second half against the Bengals. They struggled against the Cardinals. They beat the Panthers by 5, 7, 6 points, whatever. And they lost to the Falcons, right? And that was a meaningless game. They squeaked past the Saints, right? Last 4 minutes of the game. And then they squeaked past the Rams, right? So that's pretty much the back half of the season for the Bucs. So it's been like this. And the only game that you can really look at, the only 2 games, and it's not even a game, it's just one half of the Bengals, and then you look at the Carolina game. And we didn't even blow the Carolina Panthers out. We kind of scraped by them too. So it's like, what type of team is the Bucs going into the playoffs? I just kind of want y'all to put this in y'all picture this in your head. Do we know exactly what type of team the Bucs is right now? Or do we still got question marks? Now on the flip side, Dallas. Cooper Rush was winning games when they were 4-1 with Cooper Rush. They probably should have stayed with him. But remember, numbers don't tell the full story, right? You wish with the $5 super chat. Any playoffs in any playoffs, you don't go by the last game. Look at TCU as an example. Exactly. Yeah, it was weird. I got what you're saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why you take a chunk of the season, right? And then you start doing comparing contrast, right? You start breaking the tape down. And TCU Georgia game, going into the game, you kind of already saw this coming in a way. TCU, Georgia was superior from top to bottom, coaching wise, roster wise, offense, defensive line. This was a superior team. Now, bringing it back to the Cowboys situation, people get caught up in numbers. Let me put this in perspective here. Numbers. And as Bucs fans, I like to use this as an example, right? The numbers game. But what is it really about? Situational football, right? And obviously getting the win. So, see, there we go. So we're gonna take this right here. Let's put this in perspective here. Dak Prescott, Lightning Films. We'll use your comment, right? Let me. I'm not gonna put you on blast. I'm not trying to start nothing with you, but I want to put this out here, right? So, Dak has been atrocious his past few games. He's been awful. Let's put it out there, right? So, since week 7, it's nice. It's a nice piece to look at, right? It's what 10 games. 10 weeks of Dak Prescott, or 11 weeks with the bye, whatever. So as a nice piece, nice chunk that we can look at Dak Prescott. So we already know he leads tied for the league in the NFL interceptions. That turned the ball over. That is true. Leads the league in interceptions, or tied for the league in interceptions. What, 15, right? That's bad. That's not good at all. No excuses behind that. Now, remember, I always tell y'all this. I always say this. Always add context. It's easy to throw a number out there and say, 15 interceptions, he's awful, da-da-da. Okay, so how about we paint the whole picture here? Since week 7, that's when he returned. Dallas, points per game. This is going into the game. Now, I know the records are 0-0, but, just giving y'all a picture here. I'm taking a paintbrush and I'm using all the colors. There's no narratives over here. There's no narratives. Dallas, points per game, 35 points a game. Since week 7, number 1 in the NFL. Let's keep that. Dak is awful. He's playing bad. He's atrocious, da-da-da, right? Since he returned, number 1 in the NFL in scoring. Dallas. Third down percentage, 56%. Number 1 in the NFL. That's situations, right? Third down is money down, right? Red zone, money downs, money area, right? 78% red zone touchdown percentage. Third in the NFL. Remember, 15 interceptions. Tied for the NFL lead. Dallas record. Him as a starter. 8-2. I'm not a big fan of Dak. We already know that. Dak is Dak, right? Not a bad quarterback, not an elite quarterback, but he's okay. 8-2. They even better when the Cowboys run for 100 yards. We saw the graph on that. 8-2 since his return. So What is it? Is Dak atrocious? Is he really bad? Is he horrible? That's one side of the equation. Or is it the 8-2, 35 points a game, 56% on third downs, and then 78% in the red zone? Or do we put that all in a pot and mix it up? Do we put the interceptions along with these numbers in a pot and mix it up? Or we're just going to take the piece of the picture and say, this is what I want y'all to see. I want y'all to see the 15 interceptions. And we're going to disregard the 8-2 record. We're going to disregard the 35 points a game, the 56% on third downs, and 78%. Because we want to show the interceptions. This is why people get so caught up in the numbers, and they'll only use numbers to make their point, certain numbers, but they'll leave the rest of it out. Like the others don't matter. Now, this ain't nothing to be laughing about. This ain't, oh, well, it's not Dak. It's the guys around him. Well, I mean, come on, man. Which one is it, folks? You can't play both sides of the spectrum here. Dallas is trash. Okay, man. The point I'm making is Dallas is not trash. I'm just painting a picture here so y'all can see going into the game. Well, Dallas ain't bad. They're not the week 1 Dallas. Right? I mean, we can agree with that. That's not the same Dallas team that we played in week 1. Actually, and I hate to say this, but they're actually better than week 1. And that's a fact. Numbers and tape don't lie. You put those two together, they are a lot better than week 1. 8-2 in the last 10 games. 35 points a game since week 7. Oh, let me guess. Oh, Buckleslager just trying to cap for the Cowboys. No, I'm not capping. These are facts. I don't like the Cowboys, but I'm giving y'all objectivity. Some of y'all might not like me talking like this, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving y'all football talking points, because just look at the interceptions don't tell the full story. The full story, since he's been back, they're 8-2. So what would you rather have? The 15 interceptions or the 8-2? Would you have, as Bucs fans, would you rather have 8-2 in the last 10 weeks? 35 points a game? 56% on third downs and 78% in the in red zone with an 8-2 record? Which one you rather have? And the 15 interceptions? Or we can take the 9 interceptions, an 8-9 record, 18 points a game. You get what I'm saying, folks? Is the ears working? Is the ears working? Because y'all complain about our team, but I show you another team that we about to play and what they've been looking like the last 10 weeks. Oh, they're not good. So if they're not good with an 8-2 record in the last 10 weeks, then what is the Bucs? You can't have it both ways. Come on, Bucs fans. Like, what? We're talking football. We're not talking about just the Bucs. We're talking about playoff football. We're talking about going into the game between both teams. In the last 10 weeks between both teams, a lot of y'all would cry for these numbers. A lot of Bucs fans would love to have these numbers. 35 points a game, 56% on third downs, 78% in the red zone. And what's the Bucs' problem? Going into the game, red zone, third down, points. So, Lightning Films, I get it. Are you talking from a feeling standpoint? Or are you talking about the overall picture here? Now, y'all already know who I got winning the game, but that's not the point. I'm just trying to get y'all to calm down, bring the emotions down, and look at it from a football perspective. Because a lot of y'all would love to have these numbers offensive wise. Because if you look at the Bucs offense, not even close to this. So if Dallas is bad and Dak has been atrocious, what's the Bucs? Can anybody answer that question? If Dak is atrocious, right? So that means Dallas has been atrocious. They haven't been playing well. 10 games, they 8-2, last 10 games since Dak returned. If Dak has been atrocious, which means the Dallas offense hasn't been good, right? Because he's the quarterback of the offense. So Dallas offense has been atrocious. I'm not trying to twist your words, but I'm saying if you say Dak has been atrocious, if 35 points, 56%, and 78% on red zone is atrocious, then what is the Bucs? I'm just curious. What side are we gonna play? Are we gonna play the football side, or are we just gonna play the emotion side? I just want to understand: are we on the same page here? Because if a team is playing well, I'm gonna give them respect, whether I like them or not, right? But what I can't do is sit here and just disregard everything and just tell y'all bits and pieces and all the bad about the Cowboys and don't say nothing good about them. See how that works? Have you ever seen me do that? Because as a Bucs fan, I would like for our offense to average 35 points a game, 56% on third downs, 78% in the red zone. 3 errors are. Think about this. Third downs is money downs. You got to have it to keep the drive going. The Bucs are not good in that. Quarterback, Byron Etheridge, Todd Bowles. In the red zone, the Bucs have not been good in the red zone. Awful. Quarterback, OC, head coach. So before we start trying to trash these teams in the playoffs, take a look at your own backyard first. That's the point I'm making. Give credit where it's due, whether you like the team or not, but still, you still got to give them credit. You can't just talk about the bad and leave out the good or the exceptional play or the highlights too. Because I've never done that. Even if I don't like a player, I still talk, if they good, yeah, they good. You know, I still tell them if they did a good job, they played well here and there. I might not like some players, and y'all know this already. What I can't do, even though I don't rock with Dallas like that, but I can't do this and sit here and act like they are irrelevant. They trash. Atrocious. Horrible. Not good. Suck. Monkey boo-boo. I can't do that because I'll be lying to myself. So one thing I don't do is I don't play both sides of the fence. Or I don't play this side and be like, oh, well, because I can literally sit here and say nothing but bad about the Cowboys. I can't. It's easy. They have some areas that I can just be like, oh, they're not good here. They're not good here. Da, 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 da. I can easily do that and paint this picture for everybody watching and soon and eventually watch the video. And I can make it seem like the Cowboys is horrible. I can easily do that. It's easy to do it, folks. I can do it right now, but I'll be lying. And I'll be doing y'all a disservice. As a content creator for the Bucs, I'll be lying to y'all. Because I know if my team playing bad, I'll tell y'all. If our team playing good, I'll tell y'all. If they playing ugly, I'll tell y'all this. I can do the same for every other team. So before we start trying to trash Dallas for the rest of the week, let's keep this in the back of our head. This is not the same team in week 1 that we played in week 1 or the Bucs played in week 1. I'm just saying. I know it stings. It stings some of y'all. I know. Oh, Buckles, you're supposed to pick the Bucs. You're supposed to talk about the Bucs, and they're gonna trash this. They're gonna blow out the Cowboys. No, can't do it. I'm a football guy first. Told y'all this. I bleed red and pewter and black. I bleed it. I wear it, and I live in New Orleans. So don't give me this. I ain't no Bucs fan. I tell you these stories all the time. I am a diehard Bucks fan. I worked at the Raymond James Stadium, the old sombrero. I've told y'all these stories, so you can't question my loyalty to my team. That's you just playing yourself. You won't win that match. I like to say that, but I'm not trying to be like that. But you ain't gonna win if you try to come at me like that, because you're gonna lose. Because I got history. I got a whole channel. 6 years. I go to games. I wear the apparel. Like, so you can't question my loyalty to the Bucks. I'm just talking about football. And some of you don't like that. Stings a little bit, don't it? I know. But Dallas is not a bad team. That's my point. Yeah, I know they're building they building this up as a they're building it up as a, you know, America's team, America's quarterback, Brady this, Brady that, and they're gonna talk about this all week. And that's fine. Remember, folks, it's 0-0. So everybody starts as a clean slate as far as records. But the play on the field doesn't go away, because that's the tape you're going to watch. Because you got to go off of something. Because if you say, oh, the records are 0-0, which is not really true, but I get your point. But that doesn't wipe away the play on the field going into the playoffs. We have 17 weeks of Bucks film. It ain't good, folks. It's not good. That don't go away. You can't wipe that clean like, oh, we don't have to look at that anymore. Well, what you think the Bucks gonna come out and look like? Oh, let me guess. They're gonna look like the Cincinnati Bengals Bucks in the first half. Let's go with that narrative. Okay, so out of 17 games, you're gonna pick a first half, and say they're gonna look like that. When you don't even have anything to back that. Just a half. Okay, they're going to look like when they played the Carolina Panthers a couple weeks ago. That's how they're going to look. Yeah, they won that game by what, 5 or 6 points? The defense struggled. So it goes back to, I don't even know what the Bucks team going to show up. I don't know. I honestly don't know. As much as I've been talking about the Bucks this whole season, and I watched every game, I really honestly don't know what Bucks team going to show up. Will it be week 1 Bucks against the Cowboys? Will it be the Bucks against the Chiefs? The Bucks against the Ravens? The Bucks against the Rams? I don't know, because they got so many peaks and valleys. There's no consistency with the Bucks, and y'all know this. So we can talk about McCarthy and Dak and all of them all we want to. They ain't 2 in the last 10 games. Numbers back it up too. Numbers, eyeball test. And then you go back and look at the Bucks' last 10 games, you'd be like, dang, what kind of team are we? Because one end is we're a really good defensive team. Not so much against the run, but you get what I'm saying. Overall. Offensively, what are we doing? It's the coordinator. No, it's the quarterback. It's the head coach. So that means we got no identity. Right, Jason. So let me, in my opinion, I don't think this game will be a blowout. Now I'll go over my game review and who I'm picking to win tomorrow, Thursday. But in my opinion, based on the Bucks 17-week season, finishing 8-9, NFC South champions, but finishing 8-9, I don't even know what am I getting. I left the Bucks in the oven for 17 weeks at 300 degrees, and I don't know. I don't know what's in there. I can try to piece this together all I want to, but I'm gonna be all over the place. Special teams, run defense, pass offense, spamming screens all day and breaking balls, and OC don't know what he's doing. OC getting defensive. Todd Bowles overriding, punt the ball. We're not going to kick the field goal. We're not going to go for it. Punt the ball, kick the field goal inside the 5-yard line. I don't know. Look at this team's all situational football, offensively and defensively. I don't know. Like what? I literally got 17 weeks and I'm sitting here like, I don't know what the Bucs is. Are they going to spam shotgun dives? Right. Shotgun dive plays? Or, our favorite formation. Trips right, trips left, tight end flex inside. 3 receivers go up, tight end across, or receiver across underneath. Check down. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I really don't know. Is the O-line going to hold up? And the Cowboys interior is, the Cowboys D-line, that old fellow over there, Micah Parsons. Is Donovan Smith going to be up to the challenge? Can Donovan Smith run Micah Parsons? Do we trust that? Leonard Fournette, Chip. Rashad White, Chip. Cowboys D-line is the top 10 in sacks. Top 10 in pressures. They get turnovers too. So, and they have a cornerback. And I know we like to trash Trayvon Diggs. But he don't get targeted a lot. And when you don't get targeted a lot, that means teams don't throw the ball your way a lot. The Sauce Gardner, the J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, the young stud cornerbacks that's way better than our cornerbacks. Those guys, that group, the Woodley, the Sauce Gardner, the DJ Reeds, the Bradberries, the Darius Slays, the guys that we don't have. We got solid guys, but we don't have that guy. We talk about Trayvon Diggs, but he don't get targeted a lot. They got guys at every level. They do. It's going to be tough, folks, but it won't be a blowout, in my opinion. Going into the game between both teams, Cowboys and Bucs, I think this is going to come down to the fourth quarter. It's so funny. All this hoopla with the Dallas and simple. Todd Bowles, Mike McCarthy. Who do you trust? Who do you trust? Todd Bowles or Mike McCarthy? Anybody you remember that Batman Dark Knight, Two-Face? Heads, Mike McCarthy. Tails, Todd Bowles. Literally, like, who do you trust? We literally saw 17 weeks of Todd Bowles. Mike McCarthy for 17 weeks. We already know what we get in him. He's going to have a good regular season. He's done that with Green Bay. It's about the playoffs when it comes to Mike McCarthy. Well, who do you trust? And we'll go more in depth about this, but if I had to bet my money on either one of them coaches, I wouldn't put no money on it. And I'm being real. In a 1-game season, 1 game must win between both coaches. I'm not putting my money on either one of them. Call me a scary cat. I'm telling you, I'm so realistic here. I'm not putting my money on Mike McCarthy. I'm not putting my money on Bowles. Now, if I ain't got to put no money on it, I'll pick one. I'll pick a coach if I ain't putting no money on it. And of course, I'm going to go with the home team. But money-wise, nope, I'm not losing no money. Neither one of them. I'm good. Because neither one of them, Mike McCarthy has been way more successful. I will say that. Todd Bowles don't have Mike McCarthy's experience in the playoffs as far as head coach. It's a difference between coordinator and head coach. But man, they both just they've displayed some things as far as Mike McCarthy has displayed some things in the playoffs about him I don't like. He plays scary in the playoffs. I mean, he gets there. So, he has good regular seasons, but he, for whatever reason, in the playoffs, he's just whatever. And then Todd Bowles, as a head coach, he don't have no experience in the playoffs. Coordinator, sure. Head coach, no. So that's a gap. That's preparation, game plan, and all that he's going to be lacking in. That Mike McCarthy does have advantage, but I don't trust Mike McCarthy. And also Todd Bowles, from a situational standpoint, he shows some things that I don't like. But one of them gonna mess up. I'm telling y'all can see it coming a mile away. National TV Monday night, y'all gonna see it. Whoever don't mess up the most. How about that? But I'm going with the home. Well, I'm just saying. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And I'm going to have a lot of views. And hopefully I get some Cowboy fans. Molly Mall. Bring the rest of your crew. Bring the rest of your Cowboy fans, Molly Mall. I ain't forget about you. Remember week 1? Week 18. I need you to come here. Uber app. I'm coming to get you. Don't let me find you, Molly Mall. And you Cowboy fans lurking around in the chat room. Don't run. I'm bringing the heat Monday. I'm bringing the heat tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm bringing the heat all week long. Don't run. I know y'all been playing pretty decent. I get it, whatever. But guess what? We got an opportunity to get in the playoffs. And they let us in. They let us in. I'm just saying. We done messed around. We done got in the playoffs, and we messed around and got you guys. And here's the thing: this game is huge for the Cowboys fans, because if you lose this game, what do you do with Mike McCarthy? If you get rid of Mike McCarthy, does Sean Payton come to Dallas? Which means Tom Brady don't go to Dallas because they got Dak on a big contract. So, which that means another domino that we don't have to worry about Tom Brady thinking about. Which I still think that everything's on the table. Everything's on the table with Tom Brady. The Bucs are not locked in to keep him. Everything is on the table for Tom Brady. But I'm telling you right now, if the Cowboys lose this game, if only the walls can hear, or if only those walls can talk. Oh, and also, I won't be at the playoff game. Now, if somebody happened to just pass me a ticket, I can find a flight. If somebody just so happened to pass me a ticket, I'll show up. I'll get a flight last minute. Well, I need to know now. If you're gonna pass me a ticket, all donations are one. Pass me a ticket. I'll come down there. I mean, But yeah. You pass me a ticket, I'll be there. I'll find a flight. Boy, I know them hotels are expensive too. I don't know how to think about that. If you give me a ticket, I'll have to look at those hotel prices. They're gonna probably be about $300 a night. $200, $300 a night. I don't think I still wouldn't come. But anyway. Other than that, we'll get more into details. I don't think I'm gonna do an all 22 on the Bucs and Falcons game. I don't think there's no need for that. I walk in the plank, fire the cannons. I guess I can do that. I mean, who we putting in there anyway for tomorrow? Y'all tell me who y'all want in the cannon. Who goes in the cannon and who goes in the plank from the Falcons and Bucs game? Is anybody going there? I mean, it was a throwaway game, to be honest with you. Still, But anyway, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining our live stream. Recapped the Bucs and Falcons game as far as just the game itself. Wasn't really much to look at. The Bucs lose the game 30-17. The irony, 17 points. They just can't even if Look, I will say this. They're going to need more than 17 points to beat the Cowboys. I will say that. I'm going to say that. They're going to need 18. They're going to need more than 18 points to beat the Cowboys. 13 points won't cut it this time. Eyeball test and numbers tell you that. In the last 10 games, 35 points a game. So you really think 18 points is going to win this game? Just saying. We'll talk more in details about this. I'm just saying. The Bucs average in the regular season will not cut it in the playoffs. Cowboys, Eagles, 49ers, Bills or Bengals, Chiefs. You honestly believe that the Bucs can win the Super Bowl scoring 18 points a game for the rest of the playoffs? And you see the teams that's in the playoffs that the Bucs will have to go through. Cowboys, Eagles, 49ers, or the Vikings. And in the Super Bowl, you either got the Chiefs, the Bengals, or the Bills. No, we're not beating none of those teams with 18 points a game. That's a fact. Didn't beat the Bengals, didn't beat the Chiefs, didn't beat the 49ers. Those are facts. You can't give me the but, and the what if. Those are all facts. Bengals scored 34, 49 scored 35, and the Chiefs scored 41. You got to keep up. So spamming screens and spamming check downs and drag routes won't work. And also, I want y'all to know, you Florida fans out there, shout out to the Dolphins and the Jaguars. I think this is since 1999, I think it was this graph out there. All three Florida teams are in the playoffs. I think since 1999, Jaguars. The first time I think since 1999, all three Florida teams are in the playoffs. Not just going back to the Keenan McCardle, the Jimmy Smith, Mark Brunell days, the Fred Taylor days, Tony Baselli days, way back, I could take y'all back, I like football. I can talk about a lot of teams, but John Henderson, yeah. So all three Florida teams are in the playoffs. So shout out to the Dolphins and shout out to the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, coaching make a difference. I'm gonna say that. Coaching make a difference. Coaching makes a hell of a lot of difference. I'm saying. Doug Peterson literally got Trevor Lawrence looking pretty decent. Yep, that's the year. 65-7. Yep, that's the year. Shout out to Doug Peterson. Yeah, I mean, Mike McDaniels, so funny. Brian Flores goes 10-6 and then 9-8 and gets fired. Enter Mike McDaniels with a more talented roster overall. And he goes 9-8, gets into the playoffs. That's crazy, ain't it? Back-to-back winning seasons, you get fired. The next coach come in, one game over 500, goes to the playoffs. Everybody jumping around. Oh, we going to the playoffs. I'm just saying. Personally, if I had to choose between McDaniels and Brian Flores, just based on head coaching, I'm taking Brian Flores. He just shown me more. Now, no, not to say that Mike McDaniel's second year will be bad, but I'm just saying. And it all depends on Tua. Or maybe Tom Brady. But I'm just saying, 1 year with Mike McDaniels is not enough for me to say, yeah, he's that dude. So, just thought that was funny, though. Brian Flores, back-to-back winning seasons, gets fired. Mike McDaniels comes in and goes. How did he? Interesting. Or was it 8-9? Anyway, things that make you go, NFL behind the scenes, it's just kind of funny. Lovie Smith getting fired, back-to-back years, Texans fired. You know what? I can literally go there, but I'm just saying, I don't want to turn this channel into that type of channel, but I can go there. I want to mention something real quick. Did anybody hear Bruce Arians' Ring of Honor press conference or conversation? He was talking to the Tampa Bay Times, and this was brought to me earlier today, and I sent it to Mopar Buck, and he texted me about it. I'm not going to tell you what he texted me, but just for open conversation, and I think a couple of you guys brought it up. Yeah, Mark Brunell, I told you, I take you back. Come on, Rewish, get your facts right. You wish, man, you got to tighten up. You slacking. You one of my shooters. You slacking. You a vet and you slacking. It was brought to my attention. There was an article by the Tampa Bay Times. They interviewed Bruce Arians, and some of y'all brought up the topic of Jameis Winston. So let me put this in perspective. Let me close the show with this. And if y'all want to talk about it later on, we can, right? So Tampa Bay Times asked, and I'm gonna read this to y'all. They asked Bruce Arians, is there any regrets? I don't want to paraphrase. And I thought this was interesting because one side, there was, well, look. Okay, so let me read this to y'all. So Tampa Bay Times. This is an interesting conversation too. I think if y'all want to talk about it, we can. It really don't matter to me, but I want to read this to y'all. One regret Arians has from his Ring of Honor coaching career with the Bucs was not turning around Jameis Winston. Quote, if I have a regret, it's not saving him. Now, we couldn't say no to Tom Brady. And if it wasn't Tom, I would say Jameis would have been still our guy. And he'd have been better. The second year, our guys were always better. He still threw for 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. It's not an easy system. But when you get it, you get it. It's taking candy from a baby. But the last two games of the 2019 season, losses to the Texans and the Falcons. Then we had to look. We wouldn't have done it for anybody. Tom Brady was the only guy. Unquote. Somebody got some explaining to do. Somebody. Bruce. Anybody want to? I didn't say this. That was Bruce Arians. I've never talked like that on this channel. I just find it interesting when I read this. When I read it, and I was like, why 3 years later? From my perspective, from a Buckles locker perspective, what he said I already knew. Bruce Arians' system is very difficult the first year. I said this. I'm not capping for Winston, and we've already talked about this. Arians confirmed his system is difficult. Even the great Tom Brady had problems with it. I remember also during that season when after the 2019 season, going into the 2020 season, Tom Brady had his options. Then it was like There's other quarterbacks that if we don't get Brady, we'll go look at Teddy Bridgewater and a couple other quarterbacks. We wouldn't have done it for anybody. Tom Brady was the only guy. So there were Bucs fans talking about Teddy Bridgewater. That was never going to happen. We wouldn't have done it for anybody. Tom Brady was the only guy. We all, in life, we all have regrets. I have regrets. I do. You can't change regrets, right? Hindsight. But in the world of what ifs and multiverses, and some of this stuff is like factual based. You can look it up yourself. It's not an easy system. When you get it, you get it. Exactly. I said it 2 years ago. But see, I had some people saying, "Oh, he's a Winston fan," and I was just giving you just raw, uncut, just real football talk. But it's the turnovers, this and that. When I literally said, "Okay, well, Arians' offense is predicated on pushing the ball down the field. Requires you to hold the ball longer, take a lot of hits, a lot of sacks, a lot of interceptions in the first year." And we have data to back that up. Oh, Buckles Locker, he's a Winston fan. No, man, I'm just talking about football. It's literally, you can research it yourself. I said this 2 years ago. Well, 3 years, but 2 years ago. In 2020 offseason, right before they got Brady. And we were talking about the Arians offense and all that. We just put Brady in there. And the minute Brady got in that offense, 12 interceptions. 7-5. After the bye week, the offense slowly changed. Arians said it himself. He just confirmed what I already said. So I'm not tripping. It is what it is. But he confirmed what I've already said 2 years ago. I've told y'all this already. But some of y'all just don't listen. You listen to respond versus to understand. Bruce Arians, he could talk this and talk that. But I didn't believe a lot of the stuff he was saying back in in the offseason. Somebody mentioned he was driving the price down, and then you heard the Teddy Bridgewater to Tampa rumors and these other quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, it's on record, folks. None of it was true. He basically told y'all 3 years later it was Brady or Winston. Not no Teddy Bridgewater or whatever other quarterbacks y'all was talking about. If we didn't get Brady, he said it, not me. It would have been Winston. And I told y'all this. But you didn't want to believe me. But see, once again, the fruit bears every time. I'll be dropping jewels. Just go back and watch the old videos. Y'all got to start listening, man. And he mentioned the last 2 games. They had to go open door number 2 or door number 1, which is Brady, right? And that's understandable. Going from Winston to Brady, well, you can take any quarterback in that situation and go to Brady. It's an upgrade. So it's not just, we just upgraded from Winston. Every quarterback outside of Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, I think, was Burrow in the league at the time? And I think Lamar. So yeah, outside of a few quarterbacks, going to Brady was an upgrade regardless. Now, if it was the Ravens, the Chiefs, there's about 5 teams that they wouldn't consider that an upgrade. You're gonna stick with Lamar Jackson. You're gonna stick with Patrick Mahomes. You're gonna stick with Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. You're gonna stick with those guys. But any other quarterback, It's an upgrade. So it's not just Winston. This is all I was trying to get y'all to understand. We got Tom Brady. That's not a huge flex. That's obvious. That's stating the obvious. Like, so Joe Burrow's a rookie. So yeah, you're not gonna take Tom Brady over Joe Burrow. The Bengals was right. The Chargers are gonna keep Justin Herbert. They're gonna keep. The Chiefs is not gonna get rid of Mahomes. The Raiders want Lamar Jackson. Bills got Josh Allen. No, you're gonna stick with those 5 guys. That's what that's so 27 other teams would have did the same thing. So it was like you throwing rocks at Winston, thinking you making a flex because we got Tom Brady, but you fail to realize 27 other teams would have did the same thing if that was an option. That's what I'm saying. Like some of you guys just be saying anything. Don't get mad at me. Arian said it. So you can go with the narratives all you want to. He's on record. But a lot of the stuff as Bucs fans with the Bruce Arians situation that offseason, we don't know, but it's slowly coming out. It's funny. 3 years later, this comes out. Remember, Tampa media, fans. 3 years later, this comes out, and it's funny. This article came out, no press coverage on it about Bruce Arians and what he said about Winston. Anytime you tell somebody you have a regret, that's a big deal. Because deep down inside, there's some guilt in you. I have regrets. I have some guilty conscience to a degree where I regret making this decision, which almost cost me X, Y, and Z. Or I made the decision and my life went this way instead of that way. So we all have regrets. And I want to put it into a bigger perspective, not just an Arians perspective, just in general from a human being perspective. We all live with regrets. Trust me, we think about it from time to time. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. You find me one perfect person and I want to talk to them. Find me somebody with no regrets. Everything you did, you meant to do it, and that's the way it is. However your life is, whether you're really rich or you're really poor, if you made a decision to have no regrets, I would like to have a conversation with you. I would like to sit down and ask you, you have no regrets in your life? Financially, family-wise, emotionally, physically? You have no regrets? The truth always come to light. 3 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, 20 years down the road, the truth will always win. This is why I don't follow narratives. Because if you follow a narrative and you run with the crowd, this is why I'm a little awkward. I don't run with the crowd. If a fire is to break out and everybody going that way, I'm finding another way. Because everybody going that way. I don't follow narratives. I'm IT. So I deal with I'm a thinker. I'm analytics, problem solver, analyzing, analytics, data guy. I do my own research. I kind of put pieces of puzzles together and, try to understand. That's why I don't never look at one thing and say, oh, that's what I'm going off of. Because the media don't report everything. The media don't report everything. They only report the negative. And that is true. And this is what I'm saying. Like, this is not just Arians, though. Here's the thing. Like, We're just having a regular conversation, folks, before I close this out. Arians was the only one. It took Arian 3 years. Byron Leftwich, Clyde Christensen, Evans, Godwin. Ask them. It's all documented, but that wasn't talked about. And look, folks, it's 2023, so life is past. Life is moving on, right? This is just a conversation a topic of conversation. I'm literally talking to y'all like I'm just like, we cool, we're just chopping it up, having a couple drinks, whatever. I got my couple glasses of wine. We're just talking and eating some food, whatever. We're just talking about it. Nothing emotional behind it, just a talking point. Don't follow narratives. Tampa media, bottom 5 in the NFL. And as far as BA standpoint, look, I appreciate what he's done for the organization. Ring of Honor, probably gonna get in the Hall of Fame, at some point. What does it say about his character? As far as BA can paint a picture. But see, I can tell. I know when I see a bullshitter. Oh, I'm sorry, a bull sugar honey iced tea. I knew back then what BA was on. I knew back then BA was full of it, So this comment right here, it just makes me laugh. Tampa Bay Times, one of the worst newspapers in Tampa when it comes to the Bucs. He went to them and told them. Out of everybody he could have went to, he went to Tampa Bay Times. So I laugh. BA be saying all kind of stuff. It was all a facade because 3 years later, I gotta regret. You can't make this up, man. You literally can't make it up. So everything that we hear, we don't know the full story. Speculation. And then your sources. Who's your sources? Where are you reading this from? Rick Stroud, Jenna Lane, Greg Allman, Pewter Report? Like, where's your sources at? Because we're not in the locker room. This is why I call it the locker room. You get everything here. I don't hide nothing. Remember, it's easier to report negativity. It's easier to report that because it gets views and clicks and it pushes a narrative. Some people don't like to do research. Looking at Bruce Arians' offense, it was obvious. Even Carson Palmer did an interview about the Arians Winston situation in 2020. I paraphrase. Year number 2, he's going to be so much better. And then what do you see here? Arians said once he would have got year 2, he would have got it. Like taking candy from a baby. Well, hey, I'm just a fan. I'm not going to be the fan like, yeah, right. But the proof is in the pudding. In year number 2 in Bruce Arians' offense, the numbers dramatically increase. Every quarterback. Every quarterback in year number 1 in Bruce Arians' offense. Peyton Manning. Twice. Interceptions, 25 plus. 2 times. What, 29 and 26? In Bruce Arians' system. Quarterback coach, OC, yeah. That's Bruce Arians. Go back and do your research, folks. It's a known fact. Even if you say that, people will still brush that to the side like, whatever. Wait a minute. So we got history on Bruce Arians' offense. A lot of sacks, turnovers, hits. It's been happening since Peyton Manning. That's 1998. Then at the time, 2019, it happened again, and it was like, oh, that's the quarterback. No, that's his system. Oh, Tom Brady got into it. He started throwing interceptions. What happened? Change clothes and go. Hey, you can't make this up, folks. I just laugh when I laugh when I do my research and things come right to the forefront, right in your face. And some people still don't want to believe it. Oh no, it's not Arians' offense, it's the quarterback. I bet you any amount of money if you go ask Clyde Christensen, Byron Leftwich, Godwin Evans, just, present them with facts. People still don't care. I don't care. Yeah, that may be true, but you get those guys or those girls. Yeah, that may be true. His offense is turnover driven, but that guy. So wait a minute. Got loads of data saying that his offense is risk taking, but since it's this particular quarterback, it's not the system. This is why I say the Air Coryell, no risky, no biscuit offense. You got to be careful with that offense because every quarterback can't run it. Some quarterbacks don't even want to play in it. And Tom Brady clearly don't want to play in it. Because 2021, the offense changed again. And 2022. And you guys, why he not throwing the ball down the field? He not pushing the ball down the field. Why he not? That's not Brady game. Tight end, running back, slot guy. Tight end, running back, slot guy. Tight end, running back, slot guy. When has Tom Brady played in a no risky, no biscuit offense in his career? You got to see as playing in the offense, you got to have a quarterback with the mentality of I'm going to take that risk. Brady is not a risk taker. Winston is a risk taker. He's willing to make those throws. He's willing to take a hit. He's willing to throw that ball over there. 41 interceptions between him and Mike Evans. He was willing to throw those balls to Mike Evans and get all those interceptions. And what? 7 out of the 9 interceptions Brady's thrown, Mike Evans. 41 interceptions, Winston throwing the ball to Mike Evans. What a coincidence. Facts right in your face. But. Who cares? Because it's that guy, it don't matter. Are you thinking with your football brain or your emotional brain? It's all the same, folks. No risk, no biscuit is a high risk, high reward. Got to have a quarterback that's willing to take the risk. That ain't scared to take a risk. This is why the younger quarterbacks thrive and stuff like that. Older quarterbacks don't want to take hits like that. Which I understand why Brady was like, you got me out here looking like Peyton Manning and Big Ben and Carson Palmer and Andrew Luck and Jameis Winston. Oh, no, I'm good. I don't want to play the offense. Change this up. Oh, no. We need to bring it down. We need to go from, instead of going from 15 to 30, we got to bring it down to the 0 to 10. I'm just saying, folks. You can't make this up, but it's on tape. Remember, I always say, in life, exactly. It's one of the reasons why Andrew Luck retired. Took a lot of shots. Guess who was the OC and the interim head coach when Andrew Luck was playing for the Colts? It's funny. He mentioned the Texans and the Falcons game, the last 2 games. If I'm not mistaken, Evans and Godwin was out both of those games. And Winston had a torn meniscus and a torn muscle in his thumb the last 2 games. So he didn't have his top 2 targets, and he had 2 injuries. And a no risk and no biscuit offense. What'd you expect? It's one of the reasons why Andrew Luck retired. Too many hits. No risk and no biscuit. Concussion after concussion. Injury after injury. Body broke down. Arians was the OC interim head coach. See? Facts don't lie. But you don't care because I don't like that guy. But the other guys, they cool. It's all the same. All the quarterbacks played in this offense got beat the hell up. But one particular quarterback, that's the problem. Huh? Well, what about the rest of the guys? No, they wasn't the problem. What? Enough of that. You a handshaker. Rumble pack. I'm out of here. Anyway, I can do this all night. And some of you gonna get real mad. But look, this is not a plea. Look, I don't want Winston back. Let me make that clear. I'm honestly sit here and say, no, I'm good on Winston. I say that to say that. I'm good on Winston for a number of reasons. The two biggest, Bucs media, fans. I'm good because I don't have time to be arguing. I don't. Look, if they go get Derek Carr, it is what it is. If they go get Jimmy G, it is what it is. Minshew, Taylor Heineke, whatever. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you their limitations. But Winston, that's the only quarterback I would say no to. The rest of them, sure. You take a stab at Heineke and Minshew and Teddy Bridgewater and Jimmy G and Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill. Take a stab at it. Go right ahead. I'm going to give you my opinion on them. I'm going to give you some facts too. But Winston, no, I'm good. No thanks. And I don't have nothing against Winston. Nothing personal against him or none of that. But for him to come back here with the fans in the chat room, some of you, and the Tampa media, it will be a circus. Because now I got to sit here and I got to talk about him. So it's like, now I'm going to have trolls. And I don't feel like arguing with trolls. Because for one, I don't have time for it. Number two, they ain't going to win. Too much toxicity. Bucs media don't like him. Clearly. And the fans, most of them, I'm going to say 70% of them. Well, no, I'm going to say 75% of them hate him. 10% is like, whatever, it is what it is. No, 15% is like, it is what it is. Lukewarm. And then you got another 5% like, sure. Right? Sure, he can come back. 5%. Sure, he can come back. We'll take him back with the offense that we got. We can see, the down the field throws and more points scored. And then you got that 5%, that extra 5% that's sitting out there that's like, I'm good. I'm in that. No thanks. And it's nothing. I'm not a part of the 80% that hate him. I'm a part of that 5%. Like, nah, nothing personal. I just don't want to deal with the 80% in the Bucs media. Jenna Lane, Greg Oman, Rick Stroud, and all these, all of them. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with the trolls coming in here. Oh, no, I'm good. 80% of them hate the word hate. Hate him. I've read the comments. Most Bucs fans hate him. I find that strange. Some of it's personal and emotional based too. And then you got that group of fans that's they Winston defenders. They'll fight to the death for him and stuff like that. Respectable. Okay. I ain't part of that crew either. That's why I'm not an anti-pro. I'm not a pro Winston fan, and I'm not an anti-Winston fan. I'm over here. I ain't in it. Y'all over there fighting. But some of you fans take it way too personal, whether you're pro or anti. You're too personal. And I ain't part of none of you. You can't include me in none of your arguments. I'm not going to cap for Winston on the good side. I'm not going to cap for Winston on the bad side. I'm going to stay neutral. Isaiah, Buckles Locker, give me a football perspective. Sure, I can give you a football perspective. But I'm only going to go off of what already happened. I'm not going to go off of what it could be. But I'm not a part of no anti-Winston or no pro-Winston. That's why you never see me jump on the sides. What if Winston come back? Buckles Laka? I gave you my point already. It'll be toxic. It'll be a Sugar Honey iced tea show. And I don't want to see that between the anti and the pro-Winston fans. And it's so crazy. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, anything's possible. But I hope it don't happen. Caps, hope that he don't come back. I hope. I get it. The offense fits his style better. 2019, 2022. More down the field throws. But I'm good. I get it from a talented standpoint, from a talent standpoint, from a physical standpoint. I get it. The big arm quarterback, push the ball down the field, routes develop. I get it. We saw that in 2019. We went from that to 2020, Tom Brady. And then we had the Tom Brady peak. We had the peak Tom Brady in 2021. And then we had this huge drop-off. Part of it was the OC. Part of it was Tom Brady's age, old time, father time. And then part of it was Todd Bowles. One of the reasons why I don't get into that Winston conversation, I brought it up today because this quote was interesting. I remember Chris Godwin tried to check Devin White, and Chris Godwin took a lot of heat from Bucs fans for sticking up for Winston, which I thought was weird. I remember week 2 on the plane back to Tampa. Chris Godwin was like, "Why would you say that about?" And Bucs fans went at Chris Godwin, the same guy that said half of the interceptions wasn't not on Winston. That Chris Godwin, Chris the God, CG14. Chris Godwin got heckled by Bucs fans for sticking up, or just say, "Hey man, why would you say that?" The same Chris Godwin that said half of the interceptions wasn't on him. It's weird, folks. I'm telling you, that's one of the most weirdest dynamics I ever seen between a fan base and a player. I've never seen it. Well, let me go back and think. Jay Cutler, the Bears fans, and Jay Cutler. Aaron Rodgers fans, Packers, right? Packers fans, Aaron Rodgers. I'm trying to think of situations where the fan base and the player just this weird dynamic. Can anybody think of any other players? Oh yeah, I know Chris Godwin and Winston, they still hang out. Winston still lives in Tampa, by the way. So him and Godwin still hang out. Yeah. And I just find it funny that the coaching staff, Christensen, Leftwich, Arians, it's weird. It's just weird. Can anybody think of any other players with a weird fan base dynamic with a player between? Yeah, Favre is another one. I'm trying to think of another player. Is any other players that I'm trying to think of? Brady and the Patriots fan base. I can't think of any players. I mean, any other players between a player and a fan base. Weird dynamic. But in general, I would say this when it comes to the Bucs. No, Ryan Leaf. No. David Carr. and the Texans fans. When it comes to the Bucs offense, when it comes to the Bucs quarterback situation, if the Bucs want to get more explosive, it's not just about the quarterback. That makes sense? They got to get explosive players. They need more explosive players and play calling. So the Bucs just can't throw anybody in there and all of a sudden be explosive. That's more about the OC and the head coach. The Bucs got to be really careful. They have to be really careful how they do this quarterback situation. Because the free agent class don't have the big arm, push the ball down the field quarterback. And there's one, but you don't want him here. I don't want him here. The rest are not those quarterbacks. Maybe Carson Wentz to a degree. But the rest of the quarterbacks are more on the 0 to 10 throwing. You know, the Derek Carr, the Ryan Tannehill, Gardner Minshew, Taylor Heineke, Teddy Bridgewater, Tyler Huntley, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Mike White, Marcus Mariota, Matt Ryan. The only quarterback that y'all want to see, or the style that y'all want to see as far as the Bucs offense, I don't want him here. So if you want the Bucs to score more than 18 points, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't see a quarterback doing that. Like the Bucs all of a sudden scoring 30 points a game, 29 points a game. I don't see it. I don't see any quarterback in the free agent class that the Bucs could get that I would, that's reasonable. Like excluding Winston, everybody else. What quarterback is going to get you 27 points a game? What quarterback is going to get you more than what Tom Brady has done? It's almost like the Bucs gonna have to draft. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. The Bucs put themselves in this situation. I'm sorry, they literally put themselves in this situation. You went all in with a 44, 45-year-old quarterback at the time. 43, 44, now 45-year-old quarterback. Now you gotta live with the results. This is the results after the season over with. Now we back into this. What are we gonna do? Jason Light, Blazers, Arians, they did this. They didn't set us up quarterback-wise well. Because when you get Tom Brady, you got to get veterans. Now, 3 years later, you can see the feeling amongst the fan base. What are we going to do at quarterback? Brady going to stay. And this and that. And when Brady retired, did you see the fan base? Did you see the fan base go into shell shock? They didn't know what to do with themselves. I'm sitting back as a Bucs fan looking at the rest of the Bucs fan base like, what y'all doing? Y'all crying. This is the results of going in all in. Salary cap don't look good. Salary cap don't look well. Don't have a stabilized future at quarterback. Kyle Trask, question marks. Do you want to go into the season with Blaine Gabbert? You set yourself up for this, Bucs fan. Bucs organization. Now it's a weird situation. Here we go once again. Another offseason. What's Brady gonna do? What's Brady gonna do? Oh my gosh! I don't want to see Kyle Trask. I don't want Blaine Gabbert. Brady's gonna come back for one more season. Okay, He come back for one more season. 2024 season. What's Brady gonna do? He's gonna come back for one more season. Okay, 2025 season. What's Brady gonna do? He's gonna come back for one season. 2026 off season. What's Brady gonna do? He's gonna come back. You get stuck in that loop. You get stuck in the loop. We're going to get stuck in this Brady loop until it ends. We're going to get stuck in the Brady loop until it ends. And whenever it ends, I don't know whenever it ends, I'm telling y'all, hope y'all got a couple seatbelts. Click, 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 click. At some point, this loop, this little circle that we're doing these last 3 years is going to stop. Then what? We're going to find out who the real Bucs fans is. Because I got real Bucs fans over here. We're going to find out the real Bucs fans whenever this Brady hamster wheel stops. At some point, it's going to stop. I said a 2 or 3 year run. We at year 3, folks. Put up or shut up. But be respectful and live with the results. Whether we win or lose, folks, because this offseason, with the contract situation and the salary cap situation, and the uncertainty at quarterback, moving forward, young quarterback, the Bucs in trouble. The Bucs are in trouble, folks, whether you want to admit it or not. They are moving forward. Whether it's 2023 offseason, 2024, 2025, whatever year you want to put it, the Bucs are in trouble. Because if they keep holding on to this 1 year extension, this 2 year extension, what organization is doing that? What organization is doing what the Bucs doing? Packers. Oh, they're in the same predicament. If you've been listening, the Packers are in the same situation. They keep playing around with Aaron Rodgers. They drafted Jordan Love in the first round. 4 years later, nothing. They don't even know. The Bucs signed Tom Brady, drafted Kyle Trask in the second round. 2 years later, what do we do? You don't have anything. There's no guarantee Kyle Trask is going to be that guy. Just like Jordan Love, it's the same situation, folks. The Tampa Bay Packers, the Green Bay Bucks, it's the same situation. Aging quarterbacks, young guys behind them with question marks. The only 2 teams in the NFL in that predicament. 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, aging right in front of our eyes, got both franchises by the kahunas. By the kahunas. And both franchises like, we got a lot of money tied up to Aaron Rodgers. We got $35 million we owe to Tom Brady. Packers, we're going to extend Aaron Rodgers even though we got Jordan Love. 2 year extension. Bucks, well, we haven't extended Tom Brady yet, but we'll give him what he wants. What? What other teams are doing this? At some point, this Aaron Rodgers and this Tom Brady fiasco got to come to an end. In Green Bay, it won't be no Favre to Rodgers transition. In the Bucs situation, Hunger Games. I'm a Bucs fan, so I'm gonna support it. I'm gonna support whatever move. But I'm gonna do this though. They ain't set it up right. They didn't set it up right. But don't worry, I'll still have a channel. Whatever quarterback the Bucs have next year or the year after, I'm still gonna have this channel. And I want y'all to come back to this video and be like, I remember Bucs said that about 2 years ago. Yeah, I did. Well, now what? What do we do now? The Bucs did this. They put themselves in a situation. That's why they're trying to win now. They know what's about to happen. They know what's about to happen. Look at the Patriots. Well, let's take Mac Jones over Justin Fields. the Patriots. Oh, the Patriots had to. Belichick was like, all right, enough of this. Enough of this. All right. He actually wanted to keep Jimmy G. But he rode the Brady train a couple years too long. And you seen last season with the Patriots, it was now Tom is with the Bucks, and the Bucks don't look like a drop off. Like, what's going on here? Is it everything comes in full circle, folks? This is why I said, in my opinion, when he won that Super Bowl in 2020, on top. In that situation, peace. 7 Super Bowls, got one in 2020, I'm out. But the fire and hunger in Brady was like, I want another one. You know, sometimes you get it's an addiction to Tom Brady now. It's like LeBron James. It's like an addiction. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, rest in heaven. They get addicted to winning it and being successful to a point where you lose sight of everything else. Like, you know, we're seeing in the Giselle situation with Tom Brady. He kind of literally chose football over family. Lost his wife. I mean, it's still good, but you get what I'm saying. Like, sacrifice to get to what Brady and LeBron and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, you know, these all-time great, you know, players and athletes. You know, you got to sacrifice. And what comes with that? Family, friends, a lot of stuff, because all your time is put into your craft. Since you started this since you was a kid, you've been working your way up to this, and you see the fruit bearing. So these elite level athletes, these GOATs that I named, this is what happens. And especially when you sustain a long period of winning, you get addicted to it. We literally watched it with Brady. All the success. If I'm not mistaken, his old lady said years ago, Tom, enough. And she been waiting for him to retire. He was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm not retiring. She said it. I'm paraphrasing, but she been wanting him to retire. She been wanting him to retire. I'm not lying. This is all documented. She literally said, I want him home. Oh, guess what? It didn't come from me. It's all documented. So we don't know the full story, but we know enough because it's documented. It's on record. Of course, we don't know the details behind the scenes between Tom Brady and Giselle and his kids. We don't know the scene. We don't know the details, but we do know she wanted him retired years ago. We do know they went through a divorce. Do we need to know the details? Of course not. But what we do know, 2 things. She wanted him to retire years ago, and they're divorced. I want to play football. It is what it is, man. What would you do? What would you do in that situation? Successful businessman. You got kids, you know, and you got a wife, and she like, baby, you know, let somebody run the company and you just sit back and come home with the family. What would you do? You choosing family? Or you choosing that career? As a man, you got millions of dollars, endorsements, all this. I know drug is an addiction, but fame is too. Athletes, man, that's why athletes, man, you don't understand how much pressure that these athletes are in, especially the successful ones. Shout out to Tom Brady, though. I mean, 20 years, 20-something years now. Shout out to Tom Brady. Big up to Tom Brady to sustain all that level of winning. First losing season, though. King Cook. kind of get where I was going there with that. You kind of follow me, King Cook. You purpose. Be on your purpose. That's my point I was making. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying, but from a fan perspective, you want to see this thing keep going, but at some point it's got to stop. At some point, you know what I'm saying? And we know, and I know it's coming at some point. Maybe this off season, maybe next off season. Maybe he just retires and say, I'm done with everything. It almost like, in a way, it kind of depends on how this playoff run goes, right? So if he goes to the Super Bowl and he wins, I know, King Cook. I know. You got to get on my program. That's how I look at it. You ain't on my program, whatever. I'm just saying, King Cook. I mean, you got to get on the program. I'm doing this. No, okay. I'm good. I can get anything I want. I can go get 27-year-old. But at some point, it's got to end. Shout out to Tom Brady for sticking with his purpose. Shout out to Tom Brady. And that's a fan perspective, from a football perspective, but from my personal perspective, I'm not going to go into my personal perspective of it, but from a football perspective, it is what it is. Neither one of them going to be hurting, right? But how biology works, and I'm not going to go there. But yeah. So hopefully this playoff run is successful. Let's just say that. Hopefully because if Brady gets to the Super Bowl, especially with this team, how it's the dynamic of this team set up. Yeah, I seen that Aqua Megalodon. I seen that. It's always like that. It's always like that, Aqua Megalodon. If you look at the history of those type of guys, after the divorce situation, it always ends up like that. It happens. It's biology. It's in the male's DNA. It's in a male of that status. It goes back to the old days and the kings and the BC and the DC kings. The wealthy men. They always end up with this. So when I seen Brady with who he with now, I'm like, well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It happens all the time. Men of wealth, power, fame. They do what they want to do. And it doesn't matter. But if this run is successful and he gets to the Super Bowl, win or lose, I think he's going to be like, all right. Now, if it ends bad next Monday, he might get hungry and be like, look, man, I got to keep going. I don't want to go out like this. And he'll reassess his options. He'll take a look at the football scene. He'll look at all the organizations. The Bucs have treated him very well. The Bucs have given him everything he wanted. Players, time off. The Bucs have been very, very grateful. They've been very, very like, oh, Tom Brady, you can't do anything wrong. Oh my gosh. That's how the Bucs been acting. You could take leave in training camp. Oh, you can go to a wedding, Robert Kraft wedding in the middle of the season. You can do what you want to do, and this and that. I think it creates some friction, in my opinion. But the Bucs have been very good for him, very good to him. So when he look at the landscape, he's like, they did treat me well. It's almost like the Bucs is like he was married to the Patriots. And then he saw, another one and left that marriage and went to this marriage. And 3 years later, he's kind of like, let me reassess the situation. I think that's what Brady's doing. It's like, he's kind of looking at the situation like, well, this offseason, let me take a look at the landscape. Do I want to be attached to a team, or do I want to just go home and chill and be with my girlfriend, my new girlfriend? He got options, folks. That's my point. Bucks ain't the only option. And also, in my opinion, it's not the best option. Still a pretty good option, but it's not the best option based on the path of where the franchise is going. There's better options out there. If he wants it, he can stay right here and still win some games. Probably won't be pretty, but he'll still win some games. Or he can go to that hot girl in San Francisco, or that hot girl in Vegas, or the hot girl in Miami. It's up to him. But I know one thing: the Glazers, who they sacrificed. Don't Brady got a home in Miami? If I'm not mistaken, don't he got a home in Miami or something like that? Because I know Giselle, she always wanted to be in Miami. So don't be surprised. Just so happened Brady be down in Miami chilling again. I'm like, oh, Giselle down there. Giselle's international. She's global, right? She's an icon. She's a supermodel icon. So her brand fits better in Miami. That's why you don't see her in Tampa like that. When her and Brady was together, you rarely seen her in Tampa. She wanted to be in Miami because Miami is an international city. It has a bigger exposure than Tampa by a long shot. Remember, Giselle is a brand. Brady is a brand. That's why a part of the reason why they're saying Vegas and San Francisco, and Miami are the best options, because not just from a football perspective, but from a just the whole thing. 49ers because childhood team, and 49ers kind of a quarterback away, whatever. And then the Miami and the Vegas thing, that's more of a business thing. The TB12, they're not at 199 productions and something like that. So, like I told y'all, it's better options than the Bucks. Clearly, don't get mad at me. It's a fact. But yeah, so Brady do have a house down there in Miami. And look at the Tua situation. Is he retired? And it's almost like the Miami going to be in the same situation with the Bucks. You got a chance to get Tom Brady. That's an upgrade. That's one of the Miami is part of the 27 teams or 26 teams now, if you include Trevor Lawrence. 26 teams. If Brady come knocking at your door and you got a quarterback there. Hello? Yeah, my name is Tom Brady, and I was checking your property out. I would like to purchase it. Sure. Come on and take a look. What do you got? I got 2 receivers. I got a tight end. I got a decent O-line. I run an offensive system. Pretty good. Oh, really? Okay. Give me your card. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to LA. Welcome to Vegas. Okay, it's nice. Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrey, Darren Waller, Colton Miller, left tackle. Okay, short the left. Okay, the O-line. Josh Jacobs. I like it here. Let me get your card. Brady wouldn't. It's the right thing to do. You gotta go back. You gotta go take a look what's out there. You gotta remember, folks, we wasn't the first choice. So the teams that he actually kind of wanted to go to, from reports, they out there. Miami, 49ers, and the Raiders. They out there again. And they all got ties to Tom Brady. Brady got a house down in Miami. He from California. 49ers is his favorite team. Josh McDaniels, who we have a great relationship with, he spent so many years with in Vegas. They're looking for a quarterback. And it's reports out there already that the Raiders is going to. What's up, Tom? What's up, Tom? It's already reported already. They're going to make an offer. Now, Tom Brady going to say no. It's up to him. But I'm just saying, they let it be known. Hey, Derek Carr, take a seat for 2 games. We good over here. Exactly. You got Tom Brady in the house, and you got about 5 teams in the house trying to fight for Tom Brady. Like, oh, Tom, Tampa Bay, you won a Super Bowl here. We got Mike Evans, we got Chris Godwin, we got Russell Gage, we got a young, hungry defense. Our salary cap situation ain't great, but guess what? You've been here for 3 years. What's up? Ding dong. Hi, my name is Las Vegas Raiders. I'm here to see what's going on with Tom Brady. Tom, it's Vegas. You get residency here. You got business here. Boom, we got new stadium, new team. You know what I'm saying? We got lights and cameras and actions and this and that. We give you what you want. You got Devontae Adams. You got Darren Waller. You got Hunter Renfrow. You got Josh Jacobs. You got a decent old line as far as we can show up that a little bit for you, but got Josh McDaniels. What you think? Oh, come on in. You NFL Bachelor. Just gonna give y'all this. Ding dong. Who is it? Miami Dolphins. Oh, come on in. My name is Miami Dolphins. Miami. Club Heat, Club Live, and we got international, international flavor, business opportunities. The weather is great, much better than Tampa. Petty, much better than Tampa. We got two fast sports cars ready for you to drive if you want it. One is Tyreek Hill, and the other one is Jaden Waddle. We got a tight end here, Mike Gesicki. If you want to keep him, we'll keep him for you. We got a left tackle in Armstead and another decent right tackle. O-line's not bad. We got a stable of running backs. Decent defense, too, led by Christian Watkins. We got Bradley Chubb. Not Bradley Chubb, but what's the other D lineman? Forgot his name, but we got a nice little young defense. Xavier Howard, Byron Jones, And then also, you got a house down here anyway. And your wife down here too, your ex-wife. So you might want to rekindle some things. And we got a lot of flavor here if you want it. Okay, come on in. Ding dong. Who is it? San Francisco 49ers. I'm familiar with them. Oh, really? I know you're familiar with us because you used to live over here. Kyle Shanahan, you know who I am. Kittle, Debo Samuels, Brandon Ayuk, and stable of running backs. Christian McCaffrey, nice O-line, zone scheme. I'm a great play caller, so can I come in? Sure, come on in. Ding dong, who's it? The New York Jets. Why are you here? Because I got an invitation. See where I'm going with this? We got a playoff defense. We got some young weapons. Braxton Berrios and Elijah Moore and Corey Davis and Garrett Wilson. We got Breece Hall. We got the McKnight running back, the young other running back. We got a decent line, Mekhi Becton, and we got another left tackle, George Fant, and we got Verita Tucker, and we just need a quarterback. Come on in. Did I miss any teams? Ding dong. New Orleans Saints. What do you want? Well, if we get Sean Payton back, would you like to be coached with be paired with Sean Payton if he comes back to New Orleans and he brings you with him? I played for Tampa. So what? This is New Orleans. We own Tampa. Look at the history. I mean, Sean Payton come back. I know you want to roll with Sean Payton. I guess you can come on in, but don't get too comfortable. Ding dong. Who is it, man? New England. I already been there. I don't want you anymore. But Tom, look, Belichick got 2 tight ends, stable of running backs, decent O-line, our defense top 10. They be like old times. You can come on in, but don't get too comfortable. Ugh. I literally just gave y'all NFL version of Tom Brady Bachelor. I literally just gave it down. I just gave it to him. That's how that, in my opinion, that's how it's going to be in the offseason. He's going to be in the house with several teams, and they're all going to be trying to present this package, and Tom Brady going to sit there. And the Bucs fans going to be like this. Tom, don't do this to us. We don't want contrast. We don't want to see that. Y'all better get prepared, man. I just literally gave y'all the NFL version of Bachelor, starring Tom Brady in 7 teams. I did the Bucs already. I'll do it again. Ding dong. Who is it? Tampa. I know who you are. I mean, if you do, then why would you leave? I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Byron Leftwich, Todd Bowles. Tight end situation is kind of in flux, but we'll make it happen. Whatever he wants, we'll get another Kyle Rudolph. We'll go get a Kyle Rudolph. We'll go get another type of Kyle. We'll go trade for Mike Gesicki. What about third down back? Well, we got Rachaad White. What do you think about that? Well, Leonard Fournette. No, well, I don't know. What? Ryan Jensen's coming back. That is true. Ryan Jensen is coming back. That's my guy. I'll think about that one. Come on in, Tampa. Get a blanket. What you cooking? So we'll give you all the old veterans you want. Tom, we'll spend the money. We'll go over the cap again. We like $43 million over the cap, but we'll do it some more. We'll push the money down the road. We'll restructure Mike Evans' contract. We'll restructure Chris Godwin and extend Devin White and restructure Vita Vea contract, and we'll restructure Shaq Barrett's contract. We'll get them under the cap for 2023, and we'll get some old veterans for you. You name them, we'll get them. And you also got the role of an assistant head coach. And you can pick the OC you want. You don't have to keep our leverage. Whatever OC you want, we'll give it to you. And if you don't like Todd Bowles, we can switch him. We can trade for Sean Payton. We got flexibility, Tom. We can go get the guys you want, and we can change coaches, OC or head coach, whatever you want to do, Tom. If you want a part of the draft picks, if you want to pick who you want to pick, we'll give you that power too. Hell, you want to run the franchise? Go right ahead. That's the Bucs. We'll give you all the old veterans you want. Ooh, why? I had fun with this. I had fun with this, man. I did. I was supposed to be off an hour ago, but I had fun with this. It was fun talking about this. It was my closing video for the regular season. My next video will be about the playoffs, about the Cowboys. I'm not, we'll stop through and do the walk in the plank and the fire the cannon. It'll be quick. But we got to get to the Cowboys. The game is Monday. And that live stream going to be fun. He's like, yes, boss. Hey, Tom, if you want Bruce Arians back, we'll bring him back for you. No, I'm good. Don't push your luck, Tampa. Don't push your luck. You sure, Tom? We could bring Bruce Arians back down from his office back to the sideline. Don't push your luck, Tampa. Anyway, shout out to everybody that gave me a super chat. Aqua Megalodon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Oh boy! Shout out to all the Pirates and Bandits. Thank you for joining. Bucs fans, we are in the playoffs. We're gonna get down to this playoff conversation for the rest of the week. With that being said, you late, Mopar Buck. I even talked about Winston. You're late, man. You came to the party late, Mopar Buck. You got to go back and review the tape. I already talked about Winston in the comment that Bruce Arians made. We had a nice little discussion about that. You missed it, Mopar Buck. I would have brought people in the locker room, but I already know this screen would have been 5 hours long. But we're going to talk about the playoffs. And, if y'all want to talk about something that I talked about tonight, it's the end of the season. So We can talk about it, but I want to talk a lot about the Cowboys for right now. At least tomorrow, let it be about the Cowboys. And then Wednesday, we can do a recap of the NFC South. How about we do that? Wednesday, we'll do a recap of the NFC South and how they looking moving forward. You know, all 4 teams, Saints, Aints, Falcons, and the Carolina Kitty Cats, and the Bucks. NFC recap, the records, you know, how they looked, and what's the future. So I'll give you an idea of how I talk about other teams as well. Be a little different. But with that being said, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag no risk, no biscuit. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag bombs away. 18 points a game. Hashtag stay humble. Please. I want to go back to this. Hashtag facts over feelings, please. Hashtag, please, facts over feelings. Now, hashtag stay humble. Hashtag, what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag probability versus possibility. You know how this works. Hashtag trenches matter. I'm going to keep saying that, folks. And you're going to sit in the playoffs. I guarantee you that. You're going to see it Monday. Hashtag, don't get mad at me. I don't play. I just talk about the Bucks. That's all I do. That's what I do. Hashtag fire the cannons. Hashtag walk the plank. Hashtag why? Why did we finish 8-9? 18 points a game. Horrible on third down and horrible in the red zone. Why? Ryan Suckup can't make field goals with 50 yards. Why? Tell me why. And hashtag Super Bowl or bust. Oh, more par buck, man. Come on, bro. He says, my apologies. You're laughing. I know you're laughing. Thank you for the $50, half a hundo. Shout out to Blue Boy Sports. Half a hundo super chat. Don't miss tomorrow. Whatever you missed, just go back and watch, and we can talk about it tomorrow. How about that? But the talk will be about the Cowboys. Because you live in Dallas. So you know how this works. Focus is on Cowboys. And then we can talk about the NFC South and everything else on Wednesday. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for joining. Bucko's Locker is out.